Okay, so just before we start, we're going to use the press conference to look ahead to Burnley on Sunday as well. So we will start with some post-match questions, then move on to the broadcast section, which will be embargoed till 12 p.m. tomorrow, and then a written section, which will be embargoed till 10:30 p.m. tomorrow. So, Ali, do you want to start us off post-match?
Congratulations, Antonio.
Thank you.
Tell us what you thought of your players' performance and also the red card.
But for sure a good performance, and I think from the start until the end, and the approach of the game and to manage the game was very positive. You know very well when there are this type of game, a must-win game, it's never easy. It's never easy because today we had only one result, to get 3 points to win, and not only because it was a derby, a North London derby, and we knew very well the importance for our fans, the importance of this derby, because in the first leg we lost 3-1, especially because to win this game give us the possibility to continue to stay in this race and to have the possibility to take a place in Champions League. And I'm pleased for the commitment, for the attitude of my players, for the way that they manage the pressure, and at the same time I was very clear with them that it's right to celebrate, but if we don't win on Sunday, we risk that you won a derby. But now we are very close for a big achievement. We are one point less than Arsenal. There are 2 games to go. I think we have an important game against Burnley. We lost against Burnley, and if you remember very well, after the game, this game made me very, very angry. I think it was a good step for me, for my players, for the club, to understand what I wanted of my players, and now to stay in this position. I think at that time was, I think no one of us could think that with 2 games to go we needed the possibility to play for a place in Champions League.
And the red card, because Arteta seems, he won't say anything about it, but he seems very upset with it.
Yeah, but I think that Mikel Arteta is a really good coach, and he's doing a really good coach. He has just started to do this job, and I think that I listen to him to complain a lot. I think that he has to be focused more to his team and not to complain and because he has just started this work, and I think that he has to be calm and to try to continue to work, because he's very good. But to listen a coach to complain a lot of time is not good, and but it's okay. And the red card, the card for me was clear. Don't forget, and against Liverpool, and I said nothing. What happened with Fabinho? No, a lot of time. Because if we want to complain, we have the possibility every game to speak about the referee, about the decision, about postponed game, and I think that this is advice. If you want to accept my advice, it's good. Otherwise, I don't care.
Do you think, just when you're talking about complaining, Antonio, is that during the game, or that you see him complaining, or are you talking about his post-match comments?
No, but you said me, no? About the post-match comment.
Yeah. Complaints during the game as well. We could see him complaining.
No, but during the game, I'm focused on on the game, on my team, on my players, that I don't see what happened in the opposite side. But I repeat, and he's a really good coach, and I think he can become an important coach in the future. But in 6 months, I have listened him to complain a lot, and I think that but I repeat, this is only an advice, nothing else. Because I repeat, he's very good, and it's not good to complain a lot. Also because he has just started to do this job.
It looked like maybe Arsenal went out with a plan to try and kick Son a little bit and give him some rough treatment. Are you impressed with the way your players responded and managed the game? I mean, Ben Davies got an early yellow card, but your players kept calm while their players lost their heads. Were you impressed with that?
Yeah. When I speak about that, I'm delighted, for the way that we manage the pressure. I speak about this also, and the pressure was only in our shoulder tonight, because Arsenal could draw or could win if they had two good results, to keep us far from the for a place in Champions League, and to manage in this way, to see my player to manage this way is good for me, and for sure when happen this situation, when there is a red card, in opposite side, and you have to pay more attention, because especially the player that they have one yellow card, they have to manage the situation. And also we spoke with Ben after the first half to pay attention, to avoid every doubt situations, and I must be delighted for the way that they manage and the calm that they have showed from the start until the end.
Charlie.
You mentioned that Mikel Arteta has been complaining a lot in the last 6 months. Are there any other specific incidents that you were referring to over this period?
But if you remember, and he complained about the fixture, and also at that time I said that it's not good to complain, because Arsenal were good to postpone a game in an incredible way for positive COVID, and they didn't have only one player with COVID. I didn't forget this. And I repeat, but if we want to complain, we have a lot of possibility to complain. Now, today, I can complain about why I have to play on Sunday at 12 o'clock, and then Arsenal has to play on Monday at the night. And then they have 1 day more rest, and we played against Leicester, Liverpool, Arsenal, and now, after only 2 days, we have to play, and we have to play the first game at 12 o'clock.
Did you use the COVID postponement? Was that a motivating factor, do you think, for the players, that they felt that Arsenal hadn't acted in the right way and they wanted to change?
No, I think for sure, and it wasn't a good situation, because we were ready to play at that time, and to see the game postponed in a strange way made us a bit angry. But at the same time, you know that this is the past. The present is different. I said during the press conference, I prefer to play against Arsenal with all the players available, because if I have to beat Arsenal, they have to play with all the players, and I think maybe my players was a bit angry also for the first leg, because we lost 3-1 at Emirates Stadium, and then repeat. And an important target tonight. Only winning the game. We needed the possibility to continue to keep an hope for a place in Champions League.
Charlie will finish his section with you, please.
How much then was it a balance of talk about managing the pressure, but also channeling that anger in a positive way? So not losing your heads, but going in with that attitude of, we want to show.
It's not easy. It's not easy because you have to pay great attention and to find a good balance. Because if you push too much your players, you risk to have an opposite answer. And I think also in this aspect, in 6 months and half, we worked and step by step. And also for me was important to know much better my players. The players was positive to know me much better in these months, to understand sometimes when I'm angry, why I'm angry. And I repeat, don't forget against Burnley, that defeat made me very, very angry, no? If you remember. And but now they are improving in many aspects, not only on the pitch, but also mentally. They are becoming strong. But now we are talking to tell a lot of positive things. On Sunday we have to win. We have to try to get 2 points. And I ask to our fans to create this atmosphere, because tonight was amazing, the atmosphere. And I think the fans scored 1 goal, and we scored 2, and 1 our fans. And it will be important on Sunday to stay together and to create again this atmosphere, because we need to play this game all together, because the game it won't easy, and it will be a war, a sportive war, clearly.
Okay, we'll move on to the...
What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Smiles all round today. Absolute scenes at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium yesterday. Conte's press conference was just on. He was laying it down to Arteta and Arsenal and the COVID cheats and everything like that. Telling him that, Conte's been around the block a few times. Arteta's just about joined. He's complaining about everything, and maybe he does have a lot to learn now, Arteta, doesn't he?
Clearly after yesterday. I don't even know what he's complaining about. I think the referee got the decisions right. He can maybe argue some of them with the penalty was maybe a bit harsh, but I seem to remember just a couple of weeks ago against Man United, Arsenal getting a penalty in very similar circumstances, and they even got it after a VAR overturn as well when the referee didn't initially give it. So look, swings and roundabouts, you know what I mean? I think we made it so hostile yesterday that Arsenal couldn't compete. And we were saying it before the game. We had to make it a cauldron. We had to make it a fortress going into the game yesterday. And I got to say, the fans turned up when we needed them. Absolutely. I thought they were absolutely exceptional yesterday. And as soon as we took the lead, that was it. The Arsenal players just completely lost the plot. They couldn't concentrate. They lost it. They folded. They crumbled. And that's exactly down to how hostile we made it, because I didn't even think Spurs were that great yesterday in general.
Look, we'll get into it in more detail in a second, but the way we're going to it's a very busy day here at We Are Tottenham TV today, so the way we're going to structure this stream this morning, we're going to get into a match review first, then we're going to get into see how Twitter and social media did react to the game last night, and then we'll look ahead to the Burnley game as well during this stream too. So action-packed stream for you guys today. Sorry we're not here in the morning, but it was a fairly late one last night, out celebrating on the streets of Tottenham till quite late last night. So as you could probably tell from my voice, it was an absolutely epic night last night, and I wish And, you know, like...
Which never ended.
Literally, I wish it never ended. I wish we can redo it. I wish we can play Arsenal at home every week. And it was just a magical night last night. I mean, as soon as we got down to the high road, we could sense the occasion, couldn't we? We could sense the occasion, flares everywhere, fans lining the streets. I mean, you could tell just being on the street, on the high road, that the atmosphere was going to be incredible in that stadium last night.
Yeah, let's get into the review. I think.
All right. Let's get into the match review. Obviously, Tottenham 3, Arsenal 0. And as I was saying, like, as soon as we got to that stadium, you could just tell the momentous occasion that actually was, waiting 5 years to welcome those scumbags back to White Hart Lane. And what a welcome they got. The fans were lining the streets, flares everywhere in full voice. And you could just tell inside that stadium was going to be absolutely epic, and exactly what it was.
And look, it was a massive game. I think all the circumstances surrounding the game, the fact that it was a shootout for Champions League football, the fact that it was our first North London derby back in N17 with a full stadium behind it since 2017. The fact that the Arsenal had ducked the game in January as well, and that we were forced to wait and play after, unjustly ducked the game as well due to one COVID case. Most incredible match postponement, I think, in Premier League history. I think you have to say. Can you think of another one? I can't.
No. Not only because that got postponed because of one COVID case, but because how we got knocked out of the Conference League
exactly
as well.
a few days before, so the week before. So it was an absolute. So all those circumstances around it led to what was an absolute cauldron yesterday of hostility, and it was. I think, look, Arsenal fans weren't up for it whatsoever. They were gone by the 60th minute. The crowds building up outside the stadium, the atmosphere, it was something incredible. I don't think I've seen it like that outside Tottenham for a very, very long time, if not ever.
But even
it was just incredible.
Back when we used to do that at the old White Hart Lane, it was half the fans, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Now, this is like double the fans, double the madness,
The street, you could
double
barely
the
move.
atmosphere. And I actually think, I might even go as far to say that game last night might be the best atmosphere I've actually seen at Tottenham.
Yeah, I think it has to be up there. I can't think. Definitely the new stadium.
New stadium, 100%.
Definitely the new stadium.
Even when you're including the old stadium as well, like the last game at White Hart Lane, maybe just a bit better, but similar levels.
I don't remember any being outside the ground like that ever. I don't remember it at the time.
I mean, when Arsenal...
Not with flares and stuff.
Yeah, not with flares, but... No,
flares gives a bit more...
It does. It gives a bit of an edge, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was class.
But yeah, it was absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable, and I wish I could just replay that. I mean, I was in my complete element yesterday.
And as soon as we turned up, we knew this is an occasion. I think everyone was aware that, like, how big the day was yesterday, and there was so much anticipation building up to it. And I'm just so happy that we actually followed through on all the fans followed through on what they and all that excitement, and on the occasion we made it an occasion. And you saw obviously the tifos. I thought was good in the end. Oh, look, everyone can argue what should have been said on the tifo, but I thought it looked brilliant on camera. I thought the atmosphere just before kickoff, it was so loud inside the stadium. It was deafening, the noise. I thought it was amazing.
Arsenal song the whole day.
And how many I've seen so many tweets and pundits say that's one of the best atmospheres they've seen in the Premier League, especially this season, and if not for a long, long time. I think we really we talked about Anfield last week. I think we shat on that, to be honest.
I agree.
Yesterday,
Completely agree.
I thought we were it was absolutely electric.
I was in awe of that atmosphere at Anfield last week.
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely electric yesterday from the Tottenham fans, and I actually think it made a real difference. I mean, I honestly think yesterday, I know Arsenal started fairly well the game once the game kicked off. They pressing quite well, and there was a few iffy moments from Sanchez and Emerson. You're thinking, obviously we also found out the news about Romero just before kickoff. Well, we knew actually a couple of days ago, but
exactly, people start to believe us now.
Yeah. And we heard it obviously just before kickoff. He's not going to be playing. That got a bit of nerves settling in, but we didn't let it affect us as much as it was a bad start.
As soon as the news came out, like, because there were so many people on the streets, all you could hear around you is, Romero's out.
Romero. Like, oh my God, Romero. Yeah, literally murmurings. But I think everyone was more concentrating on just creating an atmosphere yesterday rather than anything else. And look, it wasn't ideal, but I think Sanchez came in and he had a nervy start, but I think once we settled into the game, Arsenal did start the better. There's no doubt about it, albeit not really creating anything.
Yeah.
They were pressing quite high. And as I said before the game, I thought Arteta would come and try and win, and I think he did. I think he was arrogant enough to believe that they could come and beat us on our own patch.
You were spot on that,
And
because
I thought
they
so.
came for us the first 5-10 minutes.
Definitely, and I think we held strong. We were definitely under the cosh. They had possession, but they didn't really create anything. I think they had one shot where Odegaard slipped. I think Nketiah did a dive in the penalty area. That was pretty much all
That
they
was a
had.
proper dive.
Yep.
That was a proper
no one
dive.
mentioned that,
No
but yeah.
one is even close to him.
Yeah.
You know, and I was watching AFTV yesterday, and Robbie was like, "Oh, for the penalty, yeah, Son does what Son does best, and that's dive." And I was
Oh.
like, "Come on, did you not see Nketiah's dive yesterday, mate?"
So if Son dived for the penalty, then Saka dived his penalty against United. Same thing, because the same thing happened. It was just a nudge. Anyway, look. But I thought once we settled into the game, I actually thought we started to assert ourselves pretty well. And then once we got into a shape where we could press them, I think we were doing that quite effectively, actually, for the next 10 minutes, from like 10 to 20 minutes. And I wouldn't say we were on top. We didn't create much either. It was a very even game, no doubt about it. But like, Kulusevski's cross was going right on Son's head. That was a brilliant cross from him. A bit out of nothing. But I thought we actually started to press them pretty well and put them under
Kulusevski
pressure.
was fairly quiet yesterday, to be honest.
I think actually he did all right. He did a nice nutmeg on Xhaka. He got a nice cross in. I thought a few times he bullied Tomiyasu as well. A couple of times I think during the game. I think Tomiyasu actually probably did enjoy coming up against him. And look, once we got the penalty, we'll talk about the penalty. I thought I did think on the one hand it was harsh, because I think in the Premier League, on a weekly basis, you'll see challenges like that and the referee doesn't give anything. However, what I would say is most defenders in the Premier League are a lot cleverer, a lot smarter, and how they do it. They don't just go and barge into the player. They kind of just ease him out of it.
Yeah.
The cross comes in. They kind of just position their body to make it difficult for the attacker to jump and head.
Correct, yeah.
What Cedric wanted, he just went and bam, went right into the back of him. And I think if the referee sees it, I think it is a penalty. I don't think he can complain.
I think it's harsh, but it's just not one of those that VAR are going to overturn. No way.
Outside the box, that's a foul 10 times out of 10. It's only not a foul when it's in the box, because there's a bit of a higher bar for penalties, even though there technically shouldn't be. We all know there's an unwritten rule in football that when it's a foul in the penalty area, there's a bit of a higher bar for a foul. So that's why a lot of Arsenal fans are complaining. But Cedric did go right into the back of him. I think Son would have won the header if Cedric didn't do that. So I did think it made a difference. I think Son was about to win that header in a good position. And I think he does go barging right into the back of him. So I think I can understand why he's upset, because a lot of defenders do something similar. But I think he did it so blatantly. He did it right in front of the referee. The referee saw it clearly. Son wasn't going to win the header, and I think it was a foul. So I don't think he can complain about that. I think it is a penalty at the end of the day. It's one of those where VAR's not going to overturn it.
That's what I'm saying. If he doesn't give it, VAR's not going to give it.
First of all, VAR won't give it, but VAR did give it when it was Arsenal United. It was a very, very similar challenge, and they did overturn it. So look, I don't think VAR overturns it if it's not given, but I don't think I can complain that it is given.
Yeah,
I don't think I can complain.
Agree.
I think Cedric's being an
completely
idiot. I think if he was smarter about it and just positioned himself where Son couldn't jump, nothing's given. But he went and bam, he went and directly went into him, barged into him. There was clear movement there.
I think if it was the other way around and Spurs gave away a penalty like that, I would feel a bit aggrieved and I would think it's very harsh, but I wouldn't be complaining about them giving the penalty.
It's more Cedric's fault than the referee's fault.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it is. That's the reality.
I agree. I completely agree. And obviously Harry Kane slots it like he always does, goes the other way, sends Ramsdale the wrong way.
He occasionally goes that way, doesn't he, Kane? Sometimes, because obviously he has his favourite way, doesn't he, from penalties. But sometimes when there's a pressure penalty, like in the Euros as well, he went that way. Even though it was saved. Yeah. And he went that way again in the derby. I think a couple times in the derby, actually, he's gone that way to the right, which is interesting because he likes to keep them guessing.
To keep him guessing, and that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. And a few minutes later, Holding gets that first yellow card, and then a few minutes after that, he elbows Son in the face, which could have been a straight red in itself.
First of all, Rob Holding, I thought I think Son had him in the mind games the whole day. I think
did, yeah.
Holding was trying to. Funny thing is, Holding made 4 fouls in the first half an hour of the game yesterday. 4 fouls, all on Son. And that's more fouls than he's made in any Premier League game ever in his career.
Wow.
And he was only playing for half an hour. So that goes to show his mentality going into. He was literally going after Son.
And he's one of their experienced players as well.
Yeah, so that goes to show you what his thought process was going into the game. He's like, look, Son's the danger man. I'm going to let him know I'm there. I'm going to get right into him. The thing is, whenever Son got the ball to feet, I thought he was able to hold him off and win free kicks. Obviously, Holding didn't want to let Son get a run on him, so he was always trying to give him a couple yards to make sure that he's matching him stride for stride. And I can't, look, I'm not going to lie, I haven't seen the first yellow card in a replay of it. But all I know is that he committed 3 fouls on Holding. So even if each foul...
On Son, yeah.
I'm sorry, he committed 3 fouls on Son. So you could...
4.
No, I'm saying before the last one.
Right.
He already committed 3. So you could argue, even if they're not that bad fouls, which I haven't seen yet, there might be bad fouls, but I'm saying you could argue, even if they're not bad fouled, exactly, you could give a yellow easy for persistent fouling. So anyone says that a first yellow's soft, I don't care.
And even so, like the second one could easily have been a straight red.
And the second one, I'm sorry, I can't believe anyone has got question marks over it. I've seen the replay time and time again. It is a full-on elbow
gets
into,
worse and worse every time you see it.
Like, it's a really bad one. It's a really bad one. I think he probably, if he's not got carded, I think he probably gets yellow. I don't think. Is there enough there? Look, if you give a straight red, I don't think VAR will overturn it and say it's too strong. But I think the referee could have got away with giving him a yellow if he was only on a yellow. But I think it's a clear yellow all day, all night. I've seen people post that Kane challenge from the Emirates last season. And I agree, that's a yellow card. Like, I don't know what everyone's complaining about. That's a yellow, and also Holdings was a yellow. I think they're both clear as day yellow cards. I don't think anyone could complain about that second yellow for Holding. It's clear as day, and I don't know what Arteta's crying about. I think it's
just throwing his toys out.
Honestly,
it's lost the game.
Exactly. He says the referee ruined the game. Referee didn't ruin it. Your defenders ruined it. I'm sorry. We look. The fact of the matter is, the game was gone after that because of 10 minutes later we get the second from a corner. Harry Kane.
5 minutes later.
Was it 5 minutes later? We get the header from the corner. Nice flick on from Bentancur. Kane's at the back post. It's 2-0.
And game over.
And it's game over. And the thing is, we didn't even have to do much. They pretty much gave it to us. Yeah. That's the reality.
It was the easiest North London derby that I can remember, and it's probably the biggest battering we've given them in the Premier League, isn't it?
It is. It is 3-0.
And we should have got a lot more goals than that, to be honest. I mean, Emerson could have had a couple of goals himself.
Emerson, Son had one when Sessegnon squared into him. Son had one, which for some reason everyone's not included in their highlights, but I thought it was a big chance.
But let's talk about Emerson, because I thought, again, he was really good defensively, stood up really strong, and he was getting forward really well and had those 2 chances, putting himself in dangerous positions. And on another day, he could have got a goal or 2.
And he was playing some really good passes to Kulusevski on the down the right hand side. He seems to have come on strong when we need him most. He's been getting pelters, but that's 2 strong performances now in a row. I thought defensively, Martinelli. I mean, he was a bit of a threat, to be fair, early in the game. But
probably their biggest threat.
But
Saka didn't show up at all.
He didn't do anything. Yeah, Saka was completely anonymous. Maybe he's still carrying that injury, but. Martinelli, I think Emerson and Sanchez defensively were very, very strong together, and I think he's just so much more confident at the moment. And his on-the-ball quality is definitely increasing, for sure. He's definitely finding his passing range is definitely a lot stronger than it was a few weeks ago. So maybe he's got the confidence now to end the season as strong as he has been. It was another game where he had a bit more space to play with, and I think he definitely thrives off having a bit more space.
Big game player, Emerson.
But yeah, look, he seems to have good games. When we do have a big game,
Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal now.
Yeah, played very well.
Big game player, Emerson, and I think a lot of people owe him some apologies, because he has been lambasted by us, by the whole fan base, pretty much. Everyone's ripping into him, saying this guy's not of the required quality. Get him out of the team, get him out of the squad. And if he keeps putting in performances like this, I'm very much more than happy to keep him.
It's like Doherty's given the baton over for underrated wingbacks over to Emerson as soon as he's gone injured.
Literally.
Fair play. And also, you got to remember that before Doherty got injured, Emerson was starting anyway. So clearly, you know, he kept Emerson was technically keeping out Sessegnon and Reguilon for a couple of games anyway. So Conte clearly trusts him as much as we don't. So look, fair play to him, another good game. And obviously we got the third goal just after half time. I think it was like a minute. Oh man,
I missed it. I couldn't believe I missed it. But yeah, that was just an easy goal. Wasn't it?
It was
Easy.
it. That was and exactly that goal as well was exactly what I was saying before the game in terms of Kane is more of a match physically for Gabriel and Holding or White or whoever I thought was playing. Obviously, I don't know who they moved to centre. I think it was Tomiyasu.
Yeah.
But it was
By the end
Gabriel.
of the game, they had Tomiyasu and Xhaka at centre back.
Yeah, because Gabriel went off injured. Hopefully, he'll be out for Monday. But
Ben White never came on.
But Kane was backing into him in Gabriel. Gabriel just couldn't win the ball off him. He struggled. He just about gets a toe on it, but it was only enough to get it to Son. And without that physicality from Kane, I don't think I don't think that goal happens. So Kane creating a nuisance for himself after a ball, by the way, from Davinson Sanchez, which was a really good ball into feet from Kane. And then Son made the finish look simple, just dinked it into the far corner. Minimal fuss. It was Ramsdale, no chance. And it was 3-0. And after that, look, the game was over. And I think maybe, obviously, we did take off let's be honest, for the last 40 minutes, it was a non-event. Spurs were just playing it around.
It was party mode.
Exactly. The atmosphere was kicking in. We were just playing it around. We did have a couple more chances. Emerson with the header, as you say, Son with a chance. But other than that, as soon as Kulusevski and Son went off, Bergwijn and Lucas came on. They didn't really do much. Spurs were just managing the game pretty much. And as much as I was a bit frustrated in the ground that, you know, we could have got more goals and let's just really humiliate them, we do have another game to think about on Sunday. And when the game over, I think he probably did the right thing to do.
Definitely did the right thing.
He could have told them, let's keep going and go hell for leather and just batter them, and that would have been nice. But with us kicking off at 12 o'clock against Burnley, it's probably best to conserve energy and go for that game, because that's where the priority is at the moment.
Yeah.
And we just thankfully we got all 3 points in the bag. It was a training session for the last 40 minutes. All the Arsenal fans had left by the 60th minute. It was brilliant. I couldn't have wished for a better circumstance for the game. And Gabriel getting injured late in the game as well was very bad news for them if he's got a hamstring injury, so that will very likely rule him out.
They play centre back against Newcastle. You assume Ben White probably will play.
Yeah, Ben White and Tomiyasu with Cedric on the right and Tavares on the left.
I'll take that against Newcastle.
Tomiyasu's done well, hasn't he? So it's not going to be a foregone conclusion, but definitely they're going to be weakened.
It's going to be back, you know what I mean?
It's going to be a partnership they're not used to. That's for sure. So look, it couldn't have gone much better in terms of individuals. Yeah, we talked about Emerson. Sanchez came in, and I thought, apart from a nervy a few touches, I thought he did well, especially defensively. I thought the whole back line was so much stronger.
Yeah, I thought Davis pretty much had a carbon copy of his performance at Anfield. I mean, he wasn't under as much pressure as he was at Anfield.
He did get an early booking, didn't he, against Saka?
But he was brilliant, though. He was brilliant.
Yeah.
He didn't, after that booking, he wasn't stifled or anything. It didn't seem to faze him. You know how some players this season, where they've got early bookings, it's like kind of really hampered them in the game. It didn't do that to him at all.
Yeah, and I thought, Saka was pretty much anonymous after that. There was that one moment, wasn't he? He won the ball off Davis very high up the pitch, and it looked a bit nervy. But other than that, that was nothing. Sessegnon, a second game in a row now. He's had a very good defensive display up against Salah and Saka now, and showing what he can do. And obviously unlucky not to get an assist when he squares it to Son. Again, would like to see him to get it forward a bit more, but I think he did a fine job overall. Bentancur and Højbjerg completely dominated in the centre. I thought they were pressing so aggressively that Arsenal really struggled to handle that.
Man.
Yeah.
I thought Højbjerg was absolutely brilliant once again yesterday. The amount of the work rate that he puts in, the amount of energy that he has, the challenges that he makes, and the way he gets forward as well. I thought Højbjerg was absolutely brilliant again yesterday.
And Bentancur again, sometimes it's frustrating because you see him drive forward into space and looking really assertive. And then you're like, why don't you do that more regularly? Because when he does it, he looks so threatening, and he's got a good pass on him. He's got a decent strike on him as well. We know he's brilliant defensively. So sometimes it just leaves you wanting more. But I thought he was brilliant throughout the game yesterday in the centre. I thought Xhaka, El Neni, was El Neni even playing? I don't even remember anything he did.
No.
Obviously, Xhaka and Odegaard were a bit more involved, but I thought Odegaard was fairly quiet anyway. And then the front three, I thought, linked up really well. We spoke about Kulusevski before. Kane, obviously, I think had a bit of a quiet start to the game, but he started to really assert himself on those Arsenal centre-backs. They struggled to deal with him.
It's got to be
throughout
man
the
of
game.
the match, Harry Kane, for the 2 goals.
Got a good finish and a good back post header. A good brace for him. He always turns up in North London derby. You know, he's never gone a season without scoring in the North London derby.
I know, it's crazy.
Never gone a season. And, he is Mr. North London derby now. He always has been, to be fair.
He is, and now he's put himself 4th in the goal-scoring charts
15
in the Premier League with 15.
15 goals.
Level with De Bruyne, Jota and Mane.
Well, look, we've seen him get 7 and 2 before, haven't we? You never know. You never know with Kane. Considering, look, if he wanted to get 7 and 2, he's probably got the fixtures for it.
Yeah, not wrong there, not wrong
but,
there.
but I'm not going to bet on it.
Look, let's get Sonny the golden.
And then Son, look, he got his goal. Obviously won the penalty. He was central to everything. Winding up, holding, getting him sent off. Bit lucky with a little swipe at holding, which went unnoticed. But I think he was a complete menace. They didn't know how to deal with Son. Look, he got the red card, and then his finish was easy. And look, he was a bit disappointed he got taken off early.
Visibly disappointed.
He was. But Conte said Son promised him will score on Sunday now. So, look, I think he was just keeping him fresh because Son's at his best when he's just at his sharpest. That's when you need him. So he did the right thing. But I think the main people come out with the most credit, the fans yesterday. I really believe that. I think the fans were absolutely amazing. I thought the atmosphere was incredible. It was a real joy to behold. It was something special yesterday, the atmosphere. As much as Klopp was like, here is special, no, yesterday was special. Yeah, yesterday was the atmosphere.
And when the fans are like
and
that...
it affected the Arsenal players, I really believe it.
Yeah, I completely agree. When the fans are like that, it's very hard to lose a game. I really believe that. I mean, the writings on the wall when the fans are like that, with that big tifo, with the fans in full voice, didn't stop for 90 minutes, didn't hear a peep out of the Arsenal fans for the whole game, even at the start. Not one peep. And it did, like I said at Anfield with their fans, I know it didn't work out that way, but it did have a sense of inevitability about the game last night.
Yeah, and I think it contributed to Arsenal crumbling. Once they were 1-0 down, I think they couldn't handle how hostile the atmosphere was, and the noise the fans were making. They just couldn't. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle the pressure, and they buckled under it. And Gary Neville was talking about his podcast where he said he's been there before. He said when United played their last game at Main Road, he said he said the atmosphere was so hostile. He was making mistakes. He played Sean Goater through on goal with a bad back pass. Like he got into his head, the whole atmosphere. And he said he saw the same thing yesterday with the Arsenal players, how they lost their heads. He said it was one of the best atmospheres he's seen this season. He said it was the best. And he said potentially even in the Premier League era. I think these things I think it showed yesterday for me, because honestly, in terms of Tottenham as a team, obviously I'm not saying we played badly. I think we did play well, and I think we were very aggressive, and we did take the game to Arsenal. But I didn't think that was our best performance by any stretch.
Oh, no way.
No way. I didn't think we were outstanding by any stretch. I think it was just the atmosphere took us through. It got us a long way to getting those 3 points.
I'll tell you what as well with the atmosphere yesterday. I had a feeling when I was there yesterday, like, this is actually like the rebirth of our new home, and like I felt like finally like this is actually our home. That's what it felt like last night.
Yeah, it felt like the true opening of the stadium in a weird way, the first North London derby. And we've waited so long for it, and what a brilliant way to get the first North London derby up and running. And we have to hope. Look, it would be fanciful to hope every game's like that, but definitely every big game has to have an atmosphere like that.
You know, there's going to be at Burnley, there's going to be a new flag, fan-led flag display in the South Stand and stuff.
Yeah?
So there are,
that's good.
Yeah, so there are kind of motions going to try and improve it on a week-to-week basis. And obviously the Burnley game, its last home game of the season, it's a massive game, isn't it? So,
but I think that yesterday's kind of like a blueprint of what this fan base can do when we all come together and we know when we can sense the occasion.
Absolutely.
And it's been a while since our fan. Look, obviously, I remember the semi-final against Ajax. The atmosphere was great, but it wasn't as hostile.
This was levels above that.
It wasn't like a hostile atmosphere like it was yesterday. Yesterday, you could really feel it in and around the ground. And we need to just hopefully we have more games like that from the fans.
Absolutely. So that is our match review. 3-0 against the Scummers at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Absolute scenes there yesterday. Go check out our match day vlog,
The vlog is scenes, man.
because it
It's
really
scenes.
is good fun. I watched all of it this morning, all 40 minutes of it. Great.
There's not a
viewing.
minute you want to waste it in that vlog, I tell you.
The scenes yesterday at the stadium was a joy to behold. So that is our match review. Let's get in a few super chats. First from the Hate Man saying, please update on Romero injury.
Yeah.
Not looking good, I'm afraid.
Well, Conte is now confirmed he's out for the last 2 games. So we heard yesterday, or 2 days ago, sorry, that he had a slight issue with his hip. We heard that he was going to take an injection before the game yesterday and he should be able to play. But clearly it didn't help as much as they would have hoped. And it's a big blow. Clearly, it wasn't just bruising; it must be more severe than that, which we heard. And he's going to be out. But look, no point mulling over it. Sanchez did well yesterday. I'm not going to start complaining about Romero being out when Sanchez did well.
And look,
we have the players. There's no excuse.
I think against a Burnley and Norwich, Sanchez will be fine. I do believe that.
Yeah, I believe it as well.
Amir Sardar, welcome to Gold as well. And another super chat from BK Sports saying, do you think Emerson deserves another season? I think with the last 2 performances, I mean, it'll be hard to sell him this summer.
Really, based on those 2 performances?
I think so. And not just those 2 performances, but what he showed against Man City as well. And he's showing improvements. And that's all we can ask right now.
I still don't think he's most suited to what we want. I think he's done really well. I have to give it to him. But in terms of what Conte really wants from a right wing back, I don't know if he's ever going to fit the bill. I think he did brilliantly over the past 2 games. But it's not the games like yesterday, to be honest, which I was so worried about him. It's more the games like against Burnley.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you can keep him and play him in these kind of games and bring in a more attacking wing back in replacement maybe of a Doherty to play in the kind of games against the Burnleys and all that kind of, and the low block teams.
What's this? Fab just confirmed something on Twitter. What do you say?
Fabrizio.
Apparently, what's Romano said?
Let's see.
Anything?
Yeah, Conte, I'm committed to Tottenham 100% and more totally committed. This is my characteristic. I'm a passionate person. I think I showed this passion here.
Damn right he has. He definitely showed it yesterday. And yeah, I mean, that's fantastic to hear. I think we're all look, everyone keeps saying, why doesn't he come out and say it? I mean, he's pretty much saying, I want to stay here. But it's about us.
Recently, the coming out from him does feel like he wants to be here and wants to be here for the future and foreseeable future.
And
the way he talks about it.
Sky Sports Italy have just been reporting that the agent of Paulo Dybala is currently in London.
I mean, I thought we were hearing that he's definitely staying in Italy or definitely staying at Inter.
That's from Get Italian Football News saying the agent of Dybala is currently in London.
Interesting.
So we'll see know. Look, as much as he might be going to Inter one, I know the deal's not done until it's done, is it? You know what I mean? I've seen it so many times where you think the deal's done and then all of a sudden there's a switcheroo.
Few more super chats to get through. Dark Sun G saying, it feels so great to bring the Gooners back down to reality. Also, all Gooners are complaining about that pen, but they get pens versus the Blues, which is very soft.
Oh, that wasn't a penalty. Remember that one? That was Saka fouled Azpilicueta and they got a penalty out of it. I mean, and also the one against Man United was just as soft as the one, If you're going to, look, if any Arsenal fan is going to say that it wasn't a penalty, then you have to say the one against United wasn't a penalty. That's it. Fair enough.
Alan Harris is saying, Ben and Sim, thanks for helping me get the sore throat before I even got into the stadium. You're welcome, Alan. You're very welcome.
Ain't a North London derby without a sore throat.
Shaj is saying, how much do you think we can get for Emerson based on his recent form?
If we are going to sell him, we can look to probably get our money back, I would say.
Yeah, I'd agree
hopefully. With that. Because it wasn't looking good most of the season, but look, I think he's done really well. You have to give him so much credit because it can't have been easy to come under all that pressure. Even in January, you remember when he scored that goal against Brighton and he's running over to the bench and he's putting his ear like as if he's taking in that criticism. And then since then, he's come even under more criticism. So it couldn't have been easy for him as a young player, 22, 23 years old, from a new country, coming to a new system, two different managers as well, learning one way of playing and then another. But when we've really needed him in the final stretch, he's come through it.
Yeah,
He's stepped
and let's
up.
hope he stays strong for the final 2 games of the season. Dark Sanji with another super chat saying, also, Gooners are doomed versus Newcastle because it's away and they lost Holding with a red and Gabriel with an injury, so they can't handle Maximam, Wood and Joe Linton.
And Bruno Guimaraes as well.
Bruno
And we've got to
Guimaraes.
remember as well, Bruno, he might have a point to prove in a way, because I don't know if you remember when he signed for Newcastle, he did this whole video, and in it he had like news articles of like Bruno set to sign for Arsenal and all this kind of stuff, and then he whips out the Newcastle shirt. So maybe there's a bit of something in that, which is great. But look, Newcastle's going to be very, very tough. They've lost 1 game at home since January. That was only 1-0 to Liverpool. All we need is a draw. We don't need Newcastle to win. So look, it's gonna look Trippier as well.
And remember
He's
the
back
last
in the
time
team.
Arsenal played Monday Night Football?
It wasn't good for them. So look, who knows? I don't think it's by any stretch a foregone conclusion they win that game. No chance.
Yeah.
But
And
what I would say
Adrian
is
Trippier as well.
exactly. But I would say is over the last few games, they have just found a way of winning these games, especially against teams who don't have as much to play for as
Well,
them.
let's see what happens when they've
So-
got a makeshift defence out there as well. It's going to be a very different one, in my opinion, because I think Arsenal, their defence in my opinion, their defence has looked shaky, apart from maybe in the last 20 minutes of games when apart with Leeds, actually, they look quite shaky then. But I think for the most part, their defence has looked a bit shaky recently. I do believe
Especially
that.
in
And
the
now it's going to be
beginning
even
games.
more makeshift than what it was.
So we'll see, obviously. But yeah, Newcastle definitely ain't going to be easy opponents.
And also Kieran Trippier has gone on record to say, I want to do it for Tottenham as well.
Yeah.
And not only that, last game of the season, Dele Alli as well. Everyone was saying that last night, how Dele Alli is going to score the winner to get us Champions League football.
That's never going to happen. Might score an own goal, I think.
Nah, come on. Another super chat here from Essa El Shamari saying, thoughts on Sterling? I mean, we saw a report, I think it was from Romero yesterday, saying it's not going to happen, I don't think.
That's from Ornstein.
Ornstein, sorry. And I can't see Sterling joining Spurs.
Yeah, he's on too much money. As much as I'd love him, I think Sterling's great. I'm a big fan of Raheem Sterling, and I don't see how we could be in a position to say no to someone like Sterling joining
we
Tottenham.
can't.
But I don't see how that chance would ever happen.
Yeah, I mean, Ornstein said yesterday that Sterling, if he does leave Man City, first of all, he's going to continue his contract talks with Man City, and second of all, if he does leave Man City, he's going to go to like one of Europe's most decorated clubs or whatever.
Yeah, the only way I see it is
the
if
Real Madrids and these.
Yeah,
kind
I
of
mean
clubs.
they have to afford him though, don't they?
Yeah.
Big money. They have to be prepared to spend big money on him, and maybe if we do get in the Champions League and City do just want rid of him because they need to they just want to freshen up or something, and there's no other takers, maybe there is a chance we could get him. But I just right now it seems very, very unlikely that there's ever even a remote possibility.
Absolutely. Anyway, let's move on and let's go and see how social media reacted to the brilliant North London derby win yesterday.
All right, Oh, what's going on? Oh, it's doing the sound
You
thing.
just got to mute it.
You know how to do it? It's all right.
The phone thing's gone
Oh,
now
now the
as well.
phone thing's. One sec. No, because the phone, it's not on a phone, is it? Yeah, you go.
All right, let's go and see how Twitter reacted to the game last night. Brilliant stuff in the North London derby.
Look, I just love this filter from Arteta, him crying. It's a brilliant filter. You've seen that crying filter. It's amazing. They just put it on Arteta. This is one of the funniest things I've seen. I literally can't get enough of it. But the thing is it even a filter? I can't tell. I don't even know. That was Harry Kane yesterday saying that was for you Spurs fans. Great picture with him and Son flying through the air. Iconic
Absolutely.
picture.
Really, there were so many iconic
I know.
pictures from yesterday.
And we've got all of them.
All right, well, no spoilers then. No spoilers.
Obviously, these are the Conte quotes which you saw just before on his press conference, saying he complains a lot. He has to focus on his work and continue to work because he's very good. To hear someone complain all the time is not so good. At Liverpool, do you hear me complain about Fabinho? He can take my advice if he wants, but if not, I don't care. And he just complains so much. He doesn't stop whining, Arteta, especially again about decisions which probably were right.
It felt like he was trying to go full on Jose Mourinho yesterday in his press conference.
So
if I speak, I will be in
cannot
trouble.
speak. You're not Mourinho, mate. Don't even try it.
Not only is he not Mourinho, but he's only been managing for 2 years.
Yeah, I know. And
The guy needs to really be humbled, man.
proper.
He's so arrogant.
Tottenham Hotspur tweeting out saying, worth the wait, wasn't it?
It definitely was.
Definitely was worth the wait. We've
We were
been
ready
ready
in
for a while.
January, and we are ready again in May.
Spurs Express say Ryan Sessegnon with 2 consecutive formidable defensive displays against 2 opponents in Saka and Salah. Really stepped up when needed most. I thought, yeah, I completely agree with that. I think he did well.
Sessegnon was brilliant yesterday.
There's Gary Neville saying this is the best atmosphere I've heard all season without a doubt. Job done, Spurs fans, loud
Come on.
and proud. And Conte as well saying tonight we scored 2 goals and our fans scored 1 goal.
Yeah.
Absolutely spot on. There's now a Sessegnon penitentiary.
I love that.
The Sessegnon penitentiary welcome Saka. Salah's already there sitting and waiting. Absolutely fantastic stuff. This was the Tifo yesterday going up. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Let me get it up there. There you go. Absolutely fantastic stuff. It looked great before the game, and it really added to the occasion.
Yeah, it really
so
did.
it did a good job.
Do you think that stuff like that should be happening weekly, or do you think it's good that it only happens at that?
I think it might get a bit boring if we do it weekly. I mean, I'd like to do it for all the big games, like all the real, like yeah. I think that because it gives a sense of occasion. You know what I mean?
Like
on Sunday, I
let's-
think we should do it. I think it's a big
Sunday
occasion.
we're not doing it. I know we're doing this flag,
good,
fan-led
so something,
flag
that's
thing,
good.
so there's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
something happening. And
I
some of
don't-
the flags on show, by the way, I've seen all the flags that are going to be shown.
Yeah.
Some of the flags on show are brilliant.
Yeah?
Absolutely brilliant.
Do do Dortmund do it every game at Tifo, or do they? Is it
No,
every
I
game?
don't think they do a
They
tifo
do
every
something,
game, but they
don't
do
they?
flags and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
every game. Yeah, we should make it more atmospheric. 100%.
No, but I think the plan is to do that, to do flags every game from now on.
every game.
I think so. That's the plan.
Good. All right, let's see how it works. That's good because I think this stadium needs a bit more energy in it, and I think yesterday proved what is possible when there is energy.
Yeah, because I think like sometimes in the Premier League these days, it's actually understated how much of a impact the fans can have.
Well, home advantage, we've seen it with Tottenham so much, haven't we? We said it before the game. We usually win the home game. They win the away game. That's why home advantage means so much. And also, one I have to say as well, the acoustics is really starting to show now when it's the crowd's in full voice. You know that the way Levy designed the stadium for the acoustics.
Yeah, and
Really-
it's spot
yeah,
on,
that's what I'm
spot on. And also, I was chatting to Graham yesterday in the pub, and he said the guy next to him had a decibel counter on his phone.
Oh, yeah?
And he was managing that, and he was looking at the decibel levels in the stadium. I can't remember the number he said. I think he said like 130 or 140 or something, which is level to a rock concert.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Just before you move on, actually,
Yep.
we've got a comment here from Rez.
Rez.
Yeah, and he says, guys, we need to set up a crowdfund for Ryan Sessegnon. Apparently, he's run out of pockets to put the oppositions in.
Absolutely brilliant from Rez. This is Eric Dyer saying special atmosphere. Let's bring the same energy on Sunday. And this is an iconic picture. Look at that Emerson holding the white flare. Absolutely brilliant. Unlike
Didn't chuck it into the fans.
Unlike
though.
Richarlison, not putting any fans in danger, just being iconic. And that also helped us. Could probably give Emerson more plaudits yesterday because that was a brilliant moment from him. And the flares really added. Yeah, it was brilliant having those flares around. Arsenal. This is from BLTHFC. Arsenal fans throwing their red flare onto the pitch at full time because they didn't have a goal to celebrate was my personal highlight of mine.
It was literally like, what am I going to do with all these flares?
After the game. I'm surprised they're only still there at full time, to be honest.
I know.
Paul O'Keefe, big up to Paul. He says Spurs bullied Arsenal tonight, who had a bright 15 minutes, then just lost their heads. Spurs dominant from then on. Their only threat was Martinelli, I thought. For Spurs, Harry, Son exceptional again. Dyer and Sessegnon very good. And Højbjerg, one of his best games, building blocks.
Absolutely. I'm not sure maybe if it was one of his best games, but I did think he was absolutely brilliant, and he's been brilliant for the last month or so.
And Charlie Eccleshare was saying that he thought yesterday was akin to a big brother, like toying with his little brother yesterday. That's
That's what I say. It was men against boys yesterday. It really was.
Definitely from a mentality point of
Yeah.
view. Here's Sessegnon again. in his penitentiary. He's got Sterling added to it as well on a leash. Brilliant stuff. Another iconic picture. Happy to be back on the pitch from Sanchez. Look at that, just covered with the blue flag.
That looks like something out of FIFA or something.
Yeah, it looks like it's been photoshopped, but that was just how it was yesterday. It was absolutely fantastic. This is what Arsenal fans and Arteta complaining about. This is the foul from Holding. Look at that. I don't know, from this view, how can anyone complain about that? I'm sorry, it's just a blatant
Surprised
card.
Son doesn't have like a black eye or something
No,
from that.
it's blatant yellow card. I'm sorry, that's just blatant. What can anyone say about it?
Yeah.
Anyway, Ryan Madden says, I thought Saka was fit tonight. The man was pocketed by Sessa and did nothing. Arsenal put videos out for Odegaard, who was hiding in Højbjerg's pocket. Martinelli got subbed after failing against Emerson. Gabriel was so bullied by Kane he lost a hamstring.
And I'm sorry, after all the talk that we had to go through before this game about Saka, and nobody denies that he's a good player. I completely agree that he's a good player, but I think yesterday proved how overrated these Arsenal fans are rating him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good player, but he's Kulusevski's definitely in the conversation of being better than him. I think Kulusevski did more than him yesterday, to be fair.
He did.
So, look, I can't believe Saka's up for Player of the Year, to be honest. I thought it was a bit ridiculous. He's had a great season, but
he should be up for Young Player of the Year.
Yeah, Young Player of the Year. I don't know,
not Player of the Year.
Another view of Emerson holding up the white flare, absolutely fantastic, with players huddled around him. This was Xhaka before the game saying he was asked what was going to happen in the North London derby. He says, "We don't speak, we do it."
Yeah.
Tell him,
I
Xhaka.
actually saved this video to make a meme, and I completely forgot about that. So thanks for reminding me.
There you go.
Watch out for that later, because Twitter's going to be on fire with that.
Arsenal today. The guy of crashing their own bike saying effing refs. Brilliant.
Idiots.
Absolutely fantastic. There's was that Marlon?
Yeah, that
Marlon
was,
Brigham was after the game.
He photobombed our instant match reaction. He took the screenshot from it.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely love that. Arsenal fans, whenever they're losing a game, blame the ref.
It's so true, though.
Yeah.
It's so true.
I don't know how they can only blame themselves. They can look. They have. I think they do have a. If they're gonna say, look, you Spurs weren't better than us. We just shot ourselves in the foot. That's why you won the game. I think that's a fair thing to say. But to blame the ref, I think you can't blame the ref.
It was their own doing.
Exactly.
It was their
blame
own
yourselves.
doing. It was self-destruction.
Yeah, that's what it was. Human Son saying this win really, really tastes nice. Big up, Sonny. Piers Morgan saying Arteta can bone as much as he wants, but we bottled it tonight, and in a North London derby, that's unforgivable.
Absolutely.
Nketiah with one of the worst dives you'll see this season.
Literally.
No one. Oh, that's terrible. Terrible from Nketiah.
I don't understand how players think they're going to get away with stuff like that.
In VAR times, because if there is a tiny little anything, if there's even a hint of a touch, VAR can't overrule it.
True.
Rob Holding, Statman Dave with his stat, 33 minutes played, one of 5 ground duels. He committed 4 fouls, got 1 red card, 0 clearances and 0 blocks. A nightmare performance from Rob Holding. Not good, not good.
After all the praise he's had the last couple of games as well.
Exactly. More passion from Son and Kane. Look at that from Son. Look at that.
Son after every goal was like
Unbelievable
going at
passion.
full pelt, jumping all over players. I mean, the passion from Son last night was unmatched, man.
He's so fully COYS. Doesn't get more COYS than that. Look at that. Then Kane as well. Loving it. Loving life. How nice of Tomiyasu to bow for Kulusevski. There we go. Lovely stuff.
There's just so many great pictures from last night.
Cedric yesterday, 90 minutes played, no tackles, no interceptions, no blocks, no ground duels won, no crosses, no dribbles, 1 penalty conceded. Lovely, great
performance, Cedric.
There's Troops not being happy with I don't know if we have the sound, but he's not being happy with Arsenal conceding. Conte on Arteta. In 6 months, I've listened to him complain a lot. Here, this one from Footy Lim says, as an Arsenal fan, this pains me to say it, but I don't think I've ever heard a better atmosphere in a Premier League game than last night. The 12th man is a real thing. And that's from an Arsenal fan. Yeah, because Footy Lims is a big account, yeah.
Well, I was
Fair
speaking to, the chap that works opposite us, big Arsenal fan, goes home and away, and he was there last night. And the first thing he said to me, he was like, look, whatever happened in the game last night, I got to give you guys credit because the atmosphere was absolutely insane.
Yeah. It was, and I'm so proud. That's the most proud I am about yesterday's. The fans, 100%. Joey says, I'm seeing almost no credit for Højbjerg's performance last night. I thought he was easily man of the match, apart from the goal scorers. Broke up play better superbly.
Sorry, by the way, on that troops thing before, that I liked that video, and that video was him doing, I think, a kind of like watch along.
Okay.
And his wife, who's a Spurs fan, is like laughing at him in the background.
Oh, right. Oh, that's quite funny. Well, he's getting pissed off at that. So go watch that. That was on our like tweets if you want to check that out. Let's see what else is going on here. Premier League panel say Conte is again busting the myth that you have to use an aggressive high press for territorial dominance. An aggressive mid-block that results in turnovers of possession when the opponents pass the ball into the middle third can be just as effective. Arsenal have looked rattled.
Yeah, exactly. They absolutely were rattled yesterday.
Oscar Kittle, who won the tickets off OP
big
Pets,
up.
he says, had an amazing time. Thank you so much for the opportunity, WeAreTottenhamTV and OP Pets. Fantastic stuff. And what a game to have won tickets for. Unbelievable. He must have hit the absolute jackpot.
He literally
yesterday.
did. Literally.
Kane Son yesterday, more passionate from him. Absolute brilliant stuff. There's nothing like Son just being passionate.
I know, he's the best. I love him so
Look at
much.
that. Unbelievable.
Which goal was that from?
Must have been, I think that must be for the corner, because I think he's going over to Bentancur, who won the flick on. Must have been that.
2-0.
Yeah, it must have been the second. Yeah, look at that. Look at the passion. Wow. There's Opta Joe says, with 2 goals against Arsenal last night, Harry Kane became the first player to score in 8 consecutive Premier League seasons against a single opponent. Wow, so no one else has. So Harry Kane has a record against scoring against a single opponent every season. It just so happens to be Arsenal. That's amazing.
The king of the North London derby.
Amazing.
That's what he is.
That's
That
incredible.
Is what he is. And
no one else has ever scored in 8 consecutive seasons against one opponent, and he's done it against Arsenal.
Unbelievable.
If that doesn't show you if he's a big game player, I don't know what does. Harry Kane is saying after the game, I think it was the best atmosphere at the new stadium. We could feel it in the build-up.
Yeah,
and I
that's
think
exactly what I was saying, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And then Patrick Tyrant, this content creating podcast stuff is pretty cool. It allows you to connect with me up people I probably would never have met or known if it wasn't for what I do.
Yeah, big up
Brilliant.
Patrick.
Look at that after the game. Brilliant. It was brilliant atmosphere after the game, so I didn't even mention that.
Yeah.
Again, it was after the win in the stadium. It was rocking.
It really was.
Absolutely
really
fantastic
was.
stuff.
Like, if you thought that West Ham thing was good, bloody hell.
Yeah, that
was something else.
It was brilliant. There's a steward dancing after the game.
I love that with Dicko.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. This is after the game in the concourse. Fantastic. Cheeky nutmeg by Kulusevski on Granit Xhaka there. Lovely stuff. And then Arteta crying in his interview.
Cry Teta.
This isn't Ed. This is no filter, by the way. This is just Arteta.
So good.
There's no filters.
Oh man, it's so
Arteta
good.
crying.
So good.
I could watch that all day.
Literally inject that into my veins.
Honestly, it's absolutely brilliant. He was crying, man. I'm sorry. He was absolutely in tears. That's all from Twitter. I
didn't see anything, but someone was telling me that he was proper kicking off in the stadium after the game or something. Did you see anything or hear anything?
I heard something. Didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything, but I did hear. Let's see a bit from Reddit while we're here. AFTV on Suicide Watch. On there, this is them on their watch along. No happy faces there, are
And the funny thing was that Robbie and that woman that he's sitting next to, that woman was being like, "Yeah, let's all go down to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Let's walk all from Seven Sisters all the from
to the High Road." Yeah.
And then she's not even there. She's in the watch along.
Oh well, Robbie was like, "I don't know if you want to do it." Yeah, Robbie's like, taking your life in your own hands.
Don't want to run that gauntlet, mate.
This was Decky just dominating Tomiyasu physically twice. Once there, and then he does it again here, just
and
bounces off him.
Supposed to be quite
Bam!
physical as
Look
well.
at that, and you just couldn't handle him. You can't stay mad at Son. So Son was a bit angry, but as soon as he saw Conte smiling, he couldn't help it. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Fantastic stuff. Look, There's that another lovely picture. There's Son after he scored his goal. Brilliant stuff. Can't get enough of this content, to be honest. Ramsdale before the North London derby saying it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it definitely
Good
was
fun for you, wasn't it, mate? Great
Definitely
fun.
was fun.
Agents activated. Trippier and Agent Dele activated
Exactly.
for the last 2 games.
Exactly.
Gonna need a helping hand, that's for sure. And then Hipspur says that's twice this season Arsenal failed to turn up to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
You know, they've only scored 1 goal at the stadium in 3 games.
That was that Lacazette goal.
Yeah. That was the one completely behind closed doors when Toby scored the winner.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
But, you know, the last 2 games, even in the friendly pre-season, they didn't score.
All clean sheets.
That's
they
4
don't
games,
score.
including a friendly, which you don't really count, but that's...
And they haven't kept a clean sheet against us in any game. Apparently in 8 games or something.
So long may it continue.
All right,
hopefully we can go a lifetime without them winning at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
All right, that's it for social media for now. But yeah, that's how social media reacted to the massive North London derby yesterday. Let's read a couple more super chats before we get into the preview for the Burnley game, which we're doing on this stream as well. Faz Radfar says, my favourite part was Arteta's post-match cry. Definitely. That definitely sweetened things. Mintu Lee, big up to Mintu Lee. She says, happy to see Rodon coming on yesterday. I still think we should keep him. Young guy, has room for development and often very good for his country. Do you think maybe he just took Davis off because he was on a yellow and just maybe rest him, or
first of all, because he's on a yellow, and obviously you don't want him suspended for the run-in for the Burnley game, and also just to give him a bit of rest. I mean, he's played a lot of football recently, Ben Davis, so I think it was the right move, and it was nice to see Rodon come on too.
Yeah.
Was that Rodon's first
appearance under Conte?
No, he did against Chelsea, didn't he?
Yeah, in the cup.
Yeah, that's about it though.
And then Shaj says, realistically, which players do you think will be sold? How much can we raise? And how much do you think Enoch will give Conte? 80 to 100 million question mark? Oh, I think that last part, it just depends on Champions League, I think, in terms of our budget. I do think how much money we sell, they'll be reinvested. I do believe that. But I think the budget does depend. I'm thinking if we're in Champions League, I might be even more than 100 million. I'm thinking the budget, because there's going to be a bit more money to play with. But if we're not in Champions League, there will be a budget. It just won't be as big.
Yeah. But either way, like whether we have a budget or not, we still need to we can't have more players than we're allowed in the squad. So we're probably going to need to sell players anyway.
Of course. At the moment, I think we'll probably sell 2 wing backs. Not sure who, but we'll probably sell 2. Probably sell.
They're all performing now.
No, they are, but we need them to.
Conte will be ruthless though.
I can see Sanchez still leaving, even though he played well yesterday.
Yeah.
Bergwijn and Lucas, I think, good chance of leaving.
You reckon both?
Yeah, I think there is a good chance of both of them leaving. And I think Winks is a good chance him leaving. So there's quite a few players there, I think, there's going to be available for sale.
All right.
Just been sent a few pictures of Brian, Cody Mack, and Adam Kaplan in the pub yesterday.
Oh, Adam Kaplan as well.
In the videos, they got all
Nice.
these. Brian just sent us all these videos.
Nice.
Gonna have to watch them later. Lovely stuff.
What was I saying with Cody Mack? I was on FaceTime after the game with Brian and Cody and Bobby Kay and stuff like that, and they were loving life. Cody Mack was in the pub in his Emerson Royale shirt. He was loving life.
Love it. Oh, also one thing, I don't know if you've seen Martin Keown today on Talk Sport.
I've heard a few things, not really that much.
He accused the Sky commentary of being biased against Arsenal, and he said that he said they're all talking up Tottenham all the time. He said whenever there was an Arsenal foul, they didn't even show the replay of it, and he said that. And then Jim Marble was like, "You seriously think Gary Neville and Ryan Tuttle are being biased against Arsenal?" He said, "Well, when they showed a replay of the penalty, Neville was very quick to say it was a penalty. Very, very quick." And
Martin, do you want some pepper with your salt, mate?
he just seemed very, very. I've never seen him so salty in my life. So it wasn't so long ago. He was like, "Yeah, I think Tottenham probably favours the top four and whatnot," and he was like trying to be balanced. And then after yesterday, he was so salty. I couldn't believe what I was seeing that.
Absolutely love it. Another super chat here from Dark Sun G saying, "I'm not scared since it's Burnley at home. They are much weaker away than at Turf Moor. Also, I love how Ben and Kulu played their first North London derby. Really perfect."
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, absolutely.
They
spot
felt
on.
the occasion as well, for sure. In terms of Burnley, I agree. I think they're definitely easier to play at home than they are when we're at home than away. But it's not going to be easy. No, it's just it will help if they go into it. Well, they're not going to go into in the relegation zone, are they? So they'll probably see a draw as a good result from that perspective. So it's not going to be easy. They're going to try and make it very, very difficult. I think the key again is to try and hit them early and get an early goal, because that means they'll have to open up a bit. That's the only way we'll make it easy for ourselves. Otherwise, you're just hoping for a bit of luck or a bit of quality to open the door.
It's again, early goal is so key. If we can get an early goal against, look, we'll get into the match preview in a minute, but it will be a hard game, that's for sure. But anyway, let's get into the match preview. Tottenham against Burnley, Sunday, 12 o'clock kickoff. And what is it with Sky? And why do they schedule our games 12 o'clock? It's ridiculous. At least wait till later on in the day. What's the need to put it at 12 o'clock? Surely they can still put it on TV and play it at 4 o'clock or something like that.
No, it's a joke. It's a joke that they've given it to us, and they've also given Arsenal the latest game on the weekend as well. So they've got an extra day to prepare, and we really are. It's Thursday to Sunday, 12 o'clock is not good at all. We've got today to rest, got tomorrow for a bit of training, and then Sunday's the game. And it's not even 4 o'clock on Sunday. You know what I mean? We have to wake up early. We have to get to the ground early, and we have to try and be as fresh. So look, those circumstances are not ideal. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But we can't cry about it. We just have to get the job done. It is what it is. They're not going to change the time of the game. As much as it's infuriating, we have to be our sharpest. And that's why we have to win the game early, because I feel like the longer the game goes on, the more tired we get. It's going to be a lot harder for us late in the game to try and force the issue with the fact that we've played so soon after. So it's difficult, but hopefully, I'm just hoping the confidence and the energy and the adrenaline that we've got from that win will take us through this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we do go out and win the game against Burnley, how much pressure are Arsenal under going to Newcastle on Monday night?
Massive pressure. I think if we go into it 2 points ahead, they are knowing they have to win that game.
What about if we draw? Are they under pressure if we draw?
Well, not really, because they know just to draw and they're still ahead of us. So obviously if they lose, we go ahead of them if we draw, but I don't think that's a situation we want to run. Look, there is a chance they lose that game, for sure. There's a chance, because Newcastle are going to be up for it, and they're going to have a makeshift team out, or makeshift potentially anyway, makeshift defence. We don't really know the full situation on Gabriel. Maybe they just took him off as a precaution. We don't really know, but. If we win and they have to win, then the real pressure comes, I think. And we'll see what they're made of on Monday night. Because Newcastle, they got some very dangerous players. And even against us, I know we beat them 5-1. That was a very difficult first half we had to play against them. We were 1-0 down, and they were causing us problems, making it very difficult for us. And at home, they've been fantastic. They've won most of their games.
Not only that, but like it's at home, last home game of the season. Every player in that squad is playing for their futures at that club. The atmosphere is always great on last home games of the season, and Newcastle fans are very happy at the moment. So I expect it to be a bit of a cauldron for Arsenal walking into there. Obviously, it's not going to be as much as it was yesterday, but I think Newcastle fans will be up for it. They're desperately going to want to win their last home game of the season, you know, when they do their lap of honour and all that kind of stuff. And also Kieran Trippier has clearly said that he wants to do it for Spurs as well. So there's a few motivations going into that. But what you were saying before in terms of it's a different game than it was at Turf Moor. If you look at the head-to-head in the last 5 games, I mean, it kind of tells you everything you need to know, where last year at home we beat them 4-0, the year before we beat them 5-0, whereas at Turf Moor, we've lost 1-0, lost 1-1-0 and drawn 1-1.
Yeah.
So with Burnley having to get a result, that kind of plays into our hands, doesn't it?
I think so. I think in reality they probably want the win rather than the draw. So I do feel I don't know if they're going to come just for the draw, but it's going to be difficult. They're going to set up in their way, But I think the fact that it's in our ground is a bit of a bigger pitch. Also, we have the home advantage. We know they don't have a great record here. So I think that's why I'm less nervous than if it was at Turf Moor. If it was at Turf Moor, I would be a bit nervous going to this game because I know how difficult they are to play against, even under new management.
Yeah.
They're very, very difficult, and they're going to make it difficult for us in this game. But if we can make sure that then they're not frustrating us for too long at the start of the game, then as soon as we get the opening goal, it becomes a lot more manageable, the game. And as long as we're not giving away too many stupid free kicks or set pieces, then you've got to say we've got a very good chance of winning this game.
Absolutely. And if you look at the form of the two teams coming into it, Burnley actually on good form, winning 3 out of their last 5 games since Sean Dyche did get the sack. A lot was made out of Sean Dyche getting sacked, and everyone was saying, oh, they're just kissing their Premier League hopes goodbye and stuff like that. But it's gone the other way, hasn't it? And it looks as though, right now, Leeds are the ones that are going to go down.
Yeah, look, it's still very much all to play for, considering the league is very tight. Leeds currently only there on goal difference. So, in fact...
Isn't there 2 points in it?
No, it's goal difference. 2 points between Everton.
Oh, right.
Leeds are currently there on goal difference.
Burnley got a game in hand, right?
No. Yes, Burnley have a game. Burnley and Everton both have a game in hand on Leeds. Leeds only have 2 games left. Burnley and Everton have 3. So obviously Leeds not looking good for them right now. But if Burnley do lose and Leeds get a draw, Leeds are back out of it again, and Burnley are in the relegation zone. So in fact, it is. I think actually they probably will go for the win, because if Leeds win, then they're in the relegation zone.
When are Leeds playing?
They're playing after, obviously.
Oh, because there's no game on Saturday this week. They're all on Sunday. So we're the first game of the weekend, are we? Yeah, okay.
Leeds are playing, I believe, it's Brentford or Brighton this week. They're playing Brighton. So home to Brighton, that's going to be a very, very important game. They're kicking off at 2:00. So I think Burnley will know.
It's every Premier League game on Sunday, apart from Arsenal.
Yeah. All on Sunday. And obviously there's a couple games missing because of the FA Cup final. Which they're playing in midweek. So I think Burnley are going to have to come and try and win. I don't, because if they do come and get a draw, then it's out of their hands again.
Do you think they go for that from the off, or do you reckon they play in their shape like they usually do, and then maybe try and keep it as 0-0 as long as possible, then maybe go for the win the last 10 minutes, 20 minutes?
Yeah, I don't think they. I don't think from the off they go for it. I think they try and frustrate us.
Yeah,
that's what I think, and I think they try and get their set pieces, because they're not stupid. They're not going to try and play us at our own game, and then or not our own game. We'll try and leave space for us, and with the players we have, I can't see that happening at all. So I think they're going to try and frustrate us, and then get long balls into Weghorst, try and get flick on second balls, try and get Cornet involved. It's going to be so that they're going to try and make it difficult for us, but we got to make sure that we make our quality count, and we know what the players we have.
Yeah.
We know that we screwed up last time we played Burnley in terms of how we approached the game. We have to make sure we put those things right, and if we do get it right, look, we have the better players, and there's no reason why this shouldn't be another 3 points for Tottenham. There's absolutely no excuses. As much as Burnley are fighting for everything, I respect that, and I respect that it's going to be difficult, but doesn't mean that we don't win this game.
Yeah, and absolutely, and it with the way they do set up and with the game plan that they are going to bring, it seems like I'm saying this every week, but if we do get that early goal, it could be a hiding for them. It really could be.
Especially in these games against teams like Burnley. I think that's first of all, that coupled with how we play.
Yeah.
And how we like teams to come onto us and invite pressure onto us, and we exploit the space when we hit them very quickly on like a counter punch kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't like to see it as a counter attack. It's more like a counter punch, because we actually do have possession. We actually like to play around with it a bit, and then as soon as they got drawn out, bam, we hit them. And so as soon as they start to press us a bit and they think they can nick the ball, that's where we go strong.
Absolutely.
So I don't like the phrase that as much as we do counter-attack as well, we're not just a counter-attacking team. We're actually quite good in possession when we need to be.
Yeah, it's
But
like-
it does need the team to come at us a bit though.
And it's like the goals that we've scored, the goal that we scored against Liverpool, the goals that we scored against Man City. Everyone talks about Spurs as a counter-attacking team, but most of those goals were all built from the back.
All built from the start and from the keeper, exactly. So I don't know how you can call it a counter-attack when we're playing it around the back and then we're just exploiting the high line.
It's because we're good in transition, and everyone's like, "That's a counter-attack."
Yeah.
That's not. A
But that
counter-attack.
wasn't transition.
No,
exactly.
even that wasn't a transition. I know.
Yeah.
But even when we're building from the back, they say it's a counter. I just don't get
No.
like the narrative around it all.
No, they just don't understand what they're saying. I think.
Yeah, I guess.
That's just reality. I think because even though I tell you why, it's because even though it starts from the back, it still looks like a counter attack because their line is so high and we're just getting those
How
players into
fast
the
we
space
are.
and because we're playing it so quick, it looks like a counter attack. But then you rewind it, it's like actually we started it from the back, and because usually you associate. A team with possession like tiki-taka, Pep Guardiola, in and around the penalty area, just trying to break the teams down in a quick combination in around the penalty area, then a goal. And you don't associate it with playing it around the back and then quickly getting into midfield and exploiting the space. That's not. It just looks to people's minds. It looks like a counter when it isn't.
Yeah, maybe you have a point there. In terms of the Burnley lineup coming into the game. This is their lineup from their game last week, where Lennon will be a nice welcome back for Lennon, obviously, if he does start. But I got a feeling probably Cornet might start there, with Cornet being quite one of their danger men in this season. Scored last week as well off the bench, I believe. Weghorst and who's that up front? Weghorst and I can't read it from here.
Barnes.
Ashley Barnes, that's it. Weghorst and Barnes. I mean, two very physical strikers. How do you think our defence without Romero can cope with those two?
I actually think, in a way, without Romero could help us. Not on the ball, obviously, in terms of us being dominant and have the quality to break him down. I think actually Romero is a big hindrance. But in terms of defensively, I think adding that physicality of Sanchez there, who's a bit better in the air than Romero, could help against someone like Weghorst. Making sure that we don't let him either win the ball or second balls or anything, or making sure it's difficult for him to win those headers. Obviously, Dyer and Sanchez is going to be more of their responsibility. If Weghorst is clever, he'll stick on Davis, but hopefully we can manage that situation. Obviously, he's been dangerous, but he's been off the boil as well. He's been a bit better since the change of manager. But and look, you got to respect his time in Germany and how clinical finisher he can be when given the opportunity. But he has gone off the boil, and we have to make sure we're keeping him quiet. Don't give away any set pieces. Don't make sure we're not giving away too many corners, and we can keep him quiet.
Another danger man could be maybe Dwight McNeil, a very tricky customer at times, really good player in my opinion. How do we deal with him?
Yeah, I mean, look, whether he plays on the left or the right, I think both our wing-backs have had very good, solid defensive displays recently. And he's actually really one of the best wingers, I think, at tracking back and helping out his defences as well, because he has to do that a lot. So he can be very tricky. But the way off wing-backs have been able to keep better players quiet recently gives me a lot of hope that they should have no problem against someone like Dwight McNeil. As much as he's been good, he hasn't quite had the season he maybe had last season, Dwight McNeil.
Yeah, you're probably right there.
He's very good at crossing.
Burnley as well haven't had really the season that they had last season as a whole, to be honest.
Look, he's a dangerous player, but there's nothing I don't think there's anything we can't handle.
Yeah, agreed. Any other danger men for you from Burnley?
I just think the big
it's just
men
them as a unit, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. They're not a team of individuals. They're a team, and they're a physical team, and that's what makes them tough to play against. Brownhill and Cork, they're not individually, they're not amazing, but if you let them physically dominate you, they can definitely assert themselves on the game. Ashley Barnes can be a very physical and good finisher. Like they got decent qualities, but they're in the position for a reason. They're in the position they are for a reason, and we have to make sure that we prove we're the better team and the better players. And it doesn't matter how tired we are, and it doesn't matter how quick the last game was around the corner. All those things have to go out by the wayside. We have to make sure we make that quality count. If that means they force us to put in a goal from 25 yards because they're clogging up, we have to do that. If that means, we need a bit of individual quality, we have to find it because we have it. And that's the crucial thing. I hate it when, like against Burnley, like we struggle to break teams down. So all of a sudden, we're just restricted to lumping the ball in the box and hoping for the best. It's like, no, we can't be doing that. If Kane has to drop deep and get a shot off from 30 yards, do it because he can do it.
Or if Son has to take it past their whole team again,
Do it.
be it. You know
exactly, because he can do it.
Yeah.
I want to see them stepping up. I don't want to see excuses like Burnley defended well and they clogged it up and it made it difficult. Yeah, if they do that, then you find a way.
Yeah.
You find a way
100%.
because there is no reason why with the players we have we can't find a way in this game.
Absolutely agree, 100%. Having said all that, what is your score prediction for the weekend?
I don't think they're going to score. Burnley, so it's about whether we can make it pay. So I don't think it's going to be a massive scoreline. So I will go for 2-0.
I was like toying in my head between 2 and 3-0. I'm going to go for the more confident side. I'm going to stay 3-0. I think Kulusevski's going to get back on the score sheet this weekend. And I actually think, I'll just go for Kane and Son. Easy does it.
Do you think Romero being out, obviously Romero ruled out for the rest of the season, is he, for this specific game, is it a massive blow or do you think we should have a problem with Sanchez in there?
Yeah, I don't think we should have too much problem. I mean, Sanchez, I know he was a bit nervy last night for 5-10 minutes in the start, but I think he actually played fairly well last night. And for a Burnley and a Norwich side, we should have more than enough. We really should.
But do you think his physicality helps in this kind of game?
Who, Sanchez?
Yeah, he's a bit better in the air, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Sanchez is actually quite suited to play against the teams like Burnley that are big, strong, physical. He's also big and he can be aerially dominant against these kind of teams.
Yeah, set pieces should really help out because you got to remember when we lost to Burnley, it was Romero that lost the header, wasn't it?
That's very true.
And as much as that's obviously it's not like a Constantine Romero. You just we've got to make sure of that. But the only thing I'm worried about is when we're trying to break him down. Obviously, it's more likely when Romero, with the quality he has on the ball, when he comes forward into the final third, he's more likely to make something happen than Sanchez is.
He is. But I think that we should still have more than enough quality in other areas of the pitch to do that.
Definitely, but it's another big game for both teams.
And it'll be on Davis to maybe show more of that adventure going forward as well. Maybe like he was when Conte first came in.
I thought yesterday he showed quite a bit.
He did, but because Romero wasn't there yesterday, that's why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
right.
when Romero wasn't in the team at the beginning in the Conte era, it was Davis the one showing that, and he was doing it really well. And then Romero coming, obviously he's miles better at doing it. So it is what it is.
You got to remember this game though. It's big, like in terms of stakes. Like the North London derby was massive stakes, but for Burnley, this is just as big.
Yeah.
The stakes are massive in this game. We need it for top four. They need it for relegation. So it is a massive game in the context of the league positions. So you can't take that for granted about how big of a occasion and how big of a how big this game is for both teams. This isn't just a nothing game for Burnley. So it is going to be a very tough game. We can't take it for granted, but we have the players, we have the team, and we're showing consistency a bit. We're showing quality, and we have to make it count.
Absolutely. All right, so that is our match preview. I'm going for 3-0 to Spurs. My brother is going 2-0 to Spurs. I want to know your score predictions in the comment section below. That is it from us. Apart from now, we move on to the guests and see what you guys thought of the game last night and your opinions on the game this weekend against Burnley. And let's start off with KPV. It's me, it's KPV.
Who else?
Who let the dogs out?
Who?
Come on, KPV.
Hello, boys.
Hello.
And it's Tottenham against the filth at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
And it's live.
Big up, Carl. How much did you enjoy that last night?
Enjoyed it, man. Start to finish. We actually battered them. We battered them start to finish. Like, Arteta can moan all he wants, but in the end, you got done over. You got done over last night. Cry all you want. Stop moaning. Stop complaining. Just deal with it. You got done over.
What's he got to cry about, Kyle? Do you think decisions were unfair?
No, I think decisions were right. The referee got them spot on. He can cry all he wants, but what was Rob Holding doing? Elbowing Son? Like, what was he thinking?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, wasn't it, Kyle? I mean, what's he? The red card was clear, and you know, if they've only got themselves to blame, don't they, Kyle?
Yeah, they've got themselves to blame. Like, I'm sorry, but cry all you want, Arsenal fans. But in the end, North London is right and forever be right.
Absolutely.
Are we getting top 4 now, Kyle?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. Like, it's odd anyway. I don't care what anyone says, but in the end, you got done over last night. Accept defeat. We're going to beat Burnley, and they're going to lose to Newcastle because Trippier wants to help us. Like, good luck, my friend. Please do us a favour. And, yeah, so brilliant win. Roll on Sunday. But, yeah, let's beat Burnley. I'm happy with it. I'll take a 3-0 win. And Barry, I swear Barry always gets the score prediction right, and he said 3-0. So
he did.
Yeah.
Didn't get it right against Brighton, though, did he?
No, he said 7-0 against Brighton.
7-0.
I think you said 7-0 as well, Carl.
I said 6-0, mate. But
yeah, come on, 6-0.
Yeah,
Get
but
it right, mate.
that's not going to happen now. But in the end, brilliant win. What was the atmosphere like?
Did you watch it on TV? Were you at home?
I was in a pub, mate, and
so you didn't hear the atmosphere, or could you hear it from the pub?
I heard it from a pub. I was with all the Spurs fans. Like, I had every single Spurs fan, and as I said a minute ago, I've got a couple of things I need to explain, my friend.
Go on.
Like, I know you probably already knew before, but I've been hacked again on my Instagram account. Second time I've been hacked. So if you get a message from my K-Bar Retribution account, don't reply in a group chat. It's someone pretending to be me. And last night, this is important, I got abused by an Arsenal fan, a black guy, telling me to fuck off. I told him straight, come near me again, I'm getting some backup, you prick. So I slapped him in the face. You don't abuse people that have disability. I'm disabled, I have epilepsy, so do one. You're not the guy who we're not allowed to talk about, and it's the Pat Jennings derby. So did he play for us first, or did he play for the Phil first?
He played for us first.
So he's done who we're not allowed to mention. So why did he...
Nah, it's a very different situation.
But anyway, brilliant win. And if I'm right, that's now 13 goals against the Phil. 13.
Yeah,
That's
for Harry Kane.
Yeah. Did you captain
Harry Kane
him?
loves a North London derby, doesn't he?
Yeah. Did you captain him in your FPL team?
I captained Son.
Son.
And he got more points in the end.
Oh, yeah. Like, I captained...
I actually captained Kulusevski.
Oh, yeah?
What? Are you
I don't know
mad,
why.
boy?
I don't know why.
Look, this weekend, like, I know I feel sorry for Son. He wanted to score, but Son should have taken a penalty. Then he would have made it, 21 and then 22. But Kane's the king. Son loves the North London derby. That, 4 Premier League goals, and the Carabao Cup count and the friendly count. So that's 6 North London derby goals. Big up everyone who went to the game, and big up Toby and Rafael van der Vaart and Jan Vertonghen. Thanks for cheering us on. And Dele Alli added to his Instagram story about Harry Kane, I saw. But Sunday, Burnley, you're getting done over. You got lucky beating us 1-0 earlier, but it's time for revenge.
What's the score going to
5-0
be, Carl?
again.
5-0.
5-0, like it was a couple of seasons ago. Son's goal, he ran past the whole Burnley defence, and he nearly fell over, but he just done it. Like, I'm sorry, but I want that Son goal against Burnley again. Puskas again. I want it.
Mate. Don't we
all, mate. And I'm captaining Son. I'm going to captain Son, but who do I captain? Triple captain out of those two. That's my last chip. Let me know who you think I want to...
Do Son. Or maybe Kane.
Fair
Either of them. They're both going to get bagged a couple each anyway.
Do I, mate? And you going Sunday, yeah?
Indeed, yeah.
You bet.
Yeah, and then obviously Norwich on the final day, they've already gone down. So yeah, Norwich already out. But Anyway, that's next weekend. But this week has been brilliant. And Wiley was really cute yesterday, wasn't he?
Who?
Wiley, the boy.
Oh yeah, half time. Yeah. He was
Pat
very cute.
Jennings.
Yeah.
He scored past Pat Jennings.
Yeah,
Little
brilliant.
boy.
That was a brilliant moment as well. Brilliant moment.
He's Tottenham through and through. Good boy, little man. And hopefully we'll see you soon, mate.
Love
And
it.
and
Big up, Carl. Big up, Carl.
before I go, boys, I'm coming next season to the North London Derby.
I hope so.
You got your
Wait,
ticket?
yeah, and I'll see you. What, Sunday? Yeah, so I'll see you probably Monday again after the game. And as always, Levy out. Come on, you Spurs. North London is ours.
Nice
See you
one,
later, Carl. Big
Lovely.
up. All right.
Super chat here from Aravind. Which, by the way, whenever Aravind is on it, like pre-match, we always win. I just absolutely love it. Whenever he's like on top of his case, like full force optimism, and we always win. He goes, "Guys, I told you, these players will go into depression. Arteta is now stressed and almost got a heart attack." And he was right, mate. He called it. He said Arsenal won't even have a shot on target. He said they had one, I think, didn't they?
They had 3, I think. Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, they had 3.
What was the other ones?
They had a couple at the end of the first half, I think, with Nketiah.
I remember Nketiah had one.
And they had one in the second half.
Odegaard had one.
One in the second half, yeah.
Well, they barely had a shot on target.
Another super chat here as well from Dark Sun G saying, last time we lost to Burnley because we used the winks, in my opinion. Faz Radfar says, not Lo Celso or Ndombele. If sell only 3, who? He's saying, who would you sell? 3 players, but you can't put Lo Celso and Ndombele in there.
Winks, Sanchez, and Sanchez, and Rodon.
Yeah. All right. SL Shamari with the super chat says, don't forget it's the last game of the season at St James's Park and the start of a new era. Absolutely, and they're not going to want to lose that game, that's for sure. And Dark Sunji again with the super chat saying, Son and Kane are made for the NLD, especially Son at home loves to carry us. 2-1 Son, 1 goal assist, 2-0 Son, 1 goal assist, 3-0 Son, 1 goal and 1 red card for a different player. Coco got a red card at their home last season, similar to Holding for the Gooners. And that's actually spot on because Son, he's produced for us in every North London derby at this stadium. Every single one.
Yeah. Has he scored all of them?
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, because
Even
he
the
scored
friendly.
the first one he scored, didn't he? He scored, David Luiz played him in on goal.
Mm-hmm.
Second one, obviously, what a goal that was, last season. 30 yards.
Yeah.
And this season.
And even in the pre-season friendly, he scored.
And even in the he loves the North London derby. Him and Kane, they can't stop him.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have world-class talent.
Exactly.
Let's go on to our next guest, and that is Mikey. Mikey and all the Spurs clobber this morning.
Guys,
That's what I love to see. I'm great. How are you?
I'm buzzing, guys. I'm buzzing. That was really, really good performance. I actually successfully watched the Tottenham game. Like I got I have my sources for legal purposes. I watched it legally, and it was really, really an outstanding performance. Again, from the guy. I'm so happy with how everyone sort of came together and had a performance that was genuinely the most brilliant showing for a long time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Mikey, tell me from watching it at home, what did the atmosphere sound like from where you were watching?
So it might have just been my TV speakers, but genuinely it was drowning out some of the commentary. I could hear how seething it was. It must have been like the decibel level must have been off the charts. I was listening, and like Martin Tyler and Gary Neville were saying, they have the specific statistic for the record attendance at the stadium, which was absolutely amazing. I think we had like 50 seats off full capacity being reached, and also then it was like, but we don't have a decibel counter, which we're pretty sure it would deafen a jet engine. So I heard that from the commentators, and that was pretty much enough to to convince me that it was the best atmosphere at the new stadium for such a long time.
Brilliant.
Well, ever. But yeah. Who really impressed you out of the Spurs boys from last night?
So I went on the post-match fan show. I haven't been on in ages because I've been busy with uni work. But I came on finally again for the post-match fan show after that showing, and I spoke about. I think again Emerson had a pretty decent game. Obviously Sanchez coming in at the not necessarily last minute because you boys knew about Romero's injury for a couple of days, but not necessarily last minute. But Sanchez still coming in. He had big shoes to fill. Obviously. We all rave about Romero being our best defender. I was watching the AFTV lineup show beforehand, and when they released the lineup and they saw Romero wasn't there, all of them went, "Yes, no Romero," and that didn't really do anything for them. They were all like, whenever Tottenham fans talk about their defense, I was like, Romero," and it's like, well, without Romero, we still get a clean sheet. So suck it. Obviously, there was different factors involved in the way that we played because they went down to 10 men pretty early on, and that obviously. Mikel Arteta described it as ruining a beautiful game. Now, for a neutral and an Arsenal fan's point of view, that's definitely true. But for a Tottenham fan's point of view, I don't think it could have been more beautiful.
Yeah, but did he actually ruin it, or were they the right calls?
Right calls. I would obviously. All right, you need to take it with a pinch of salt because football fans are incredibly reactionary. If that penalty was given against us, we'd all be up in arms, going, obviously there'd be controversy. And you take that, but I was listening to the AFTV stream, and they were like, "You have to say that's a soft penalty, but if that happened to us, we would take it." So, at the end of the day, any football fan that has that decision go for them, you'll take it, and whoever it's against, they're always going to be up in arms. Like that is such an injustice because obviously you're inherently hypocritical when it comes to your own team. So I do think the penalty was the right call. Gary Neville put it best. If he shoved him like that seconds later. That probably wouldn't have been given, but the ball hadn't even come into the box yet, and Son was already tumbling to the ground. So definitely not a indisputable penalty because some referees might not have given that, but I still think that penalty decision was good. Rob Holding could have been sent off for a numerous amount of challenges before he was sent off. I think he definitely came to tango for two with Son, and it ended up costing him and his team the game. And then pretty much it was just a saunter through the park. Once that third goal went in, I knew that we weren't going to go and score more because we've got a game coming up in less than 3 days, even though Arsenal have the extra day's rest. And that sort of Arsenal started to have maybe a touch more of the ball, but we knew we didn't have to go for it. He rested Son so that he's fighting fit for the game against Burnley. And it was just sort of the last half an hour or 40 minutes was just sort of a training session. It was just us passing it around. Like Conte could have come into the midfield and done a job. Like it was that sort of pacing of the game.
You could have come into the midfield, Mikey.
I mean, I'd still think I'd done a better job than Harry. No, of course we don't. I definitely wouldn't. I'm not a professional, but no, it was
Mikey,
a brilliant game.
Mikey, top four now. Do you think we got it? Do you think we have it with these last two games?
So this is the balanced on a knife's edge because Arsenal still are in the driving seat. That's that point. Obviously, that I look back to that loss. That even if we'd drawn against Brighton, we would be in the driving seat. But that 90th minute Trossard winner that's why we're in this situation. It's that one goal that's put us there. And regardless of what people say, Tottenham this, Arsenal that, I think it's balanced on a knife's edge. It's literally 51-49 in favour of Arsenal right now because of that singular point, but because of the fixture running we have versus the fixture running they have. Obviously, if you play Burnley, you play them at home, it's a completely different ball game to playing them away. You have to go to Turf Moor. No one fancies that. But if they come to your stadium, you fancy getting a result against them. And then obviously travelling to Norwich is not a formality, but it's not exactly something I'm looking at and going, oh my God, we could lose this game. But going to Newcastle with the form they're in and they know that their summer is going to be, this is the first sort of big summer for them. So they're going to be buoyant. I do think it rests in Arsenal's hands. It is in Arsenal's hands. We have to, it's not in our hands. We win both our games. Even if Arsenal win theirs, they get top four. So it's not in our hands, but I do think Tottenham will make it. I am saying Tottenham will make it to the top four.
and how are you feeling for the game on Sunday, 12 o'clock kickoff? First of all, what do you think about the fixture scheduling?
That's poor. That's poor because they knew we found out in early April when the derby was going to be played on Thursday the 12th. That it would obviously, to make sure people can watch it would be an evening kickoff. So they knew this from way back when, and we're still having to play early on a Sunday while they get to play late on a Monday. Obviously, I don't envy the 6-hour journey up north to Geordie land, but it's still a little bit of a piss take that we have to play 36 hours before them, or however many hours it is, because they even though they're away, we had the kickoff at the same time. We played the same game as them, and ultimately it is what it is. You can't change it. Obviously, I know why they're not playing any games tomorrow, because it's the FA Cup final day. You can't have a Premier League game on the FA Cup final day. I don't know when the last time that happened was, but
why not though?
I mean, I guess because obviously you want all the TV broadcasters, they're going to be exclusively there's more money to be made simply because you're not going to get many Premier League.
It's not the same for the League Cup, is it? There's always Premier League fixtures on League Cup final day, aren't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess just the FA Cup it's the FA Cup, and it's has
got
that
the traditions
reputation.
to it.
Yeah, but either way, the FA Cup's not really my concern. I don't care. I don't give a toss who wins that. But if it's not Tottenham, I don't care. Obviously, I'd love to see. I would love to see Chelsea not win it, because they're bigger rivals to us. So
I'd like to see both clubs not win it, to be honest. But Chelsea, I'd like to see more not win it than Liverpool.
Yeah. So I guess we're not Liverpool fans, but we just want Chelsea to lose. But either way, it's not about that. It's about the Burnley game. They're going to be they're always a hard side to break down. Even under the management of Ben Mee, they're doing whoever their manager is. Mike, whatever his name is, Mike Jackson, is it? I don't know who's.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I don't know who's managing Burnley, but I think they are. I think they are going to be a tough test. Obviously, they're fighting for survival, but Arsenal have got to play Everton, who I would say are a little bit more secure than Burnley and Leeds. But at the same time, it is Burnley at home, and we've scored 9 goals in our previous 2 home games against them. So and I think before that we scored like 3. So home games against Burnley do tend to be a bit more of a what's the word? They tend to be a little bit more fruitful for us than going up to Turf Moor. So I'm quietly confident. I know I always say that on this show, but I'm quietly confident. But
You're just a quietly confident guy, Mikey.
After that win, because we've seen Tottenham have we saw Tottenham win at the Etihad in the last minute and then go on to lose to Burnley 1-0. Mm-hmm. So you can't take a sort of 3-0 derby win and then expect Tottenham to push on because of that win, because we've seen it happen before where we've beaten City 3-2 with that last minute Kane equaliser and then go and put in such a dreadful performance. So I can't say that this performance will push us onto bigger and better things. They just have to go out there and prove it. At the end of the day,
what's your score prediction, Mikey?
Oh God, I hate making score predictions. I do think they will get some joy somewhere. So I think they will score 1, but I think it'll be 3-1 is my prediction. If we do, I wouldn't be surprised if we keep a clean sheet, but I don't think, because of the way they like to play, aerially dominant without Weghorst and whoever they've got up there. I don't know who they play, Max or Cornet maybe, or Dwight McNeil. The crosses they can put in, they can hurt you from set pieces, and obviously Tottenham do like a blocked shot, as we've seen in the last few games. So it might they will get some joy somewhere from one of their set piece routines, but I think it'll be a 3-1 win. You know what? I'll go for an outside pick. I'll go for Son to score 1, Kane to score 1, and Emerson Royale to get his 2nd goal for the club.
All right.
Nice one,
big prediction there. Big Emerson Royale. But thank you coming on, Mikey, and we'll see you next time.
All right, you guys are welcome. Keep up the good work. The atmosphere was amazing. Congratulations to everyone who managed to bag tickets.
See you later, Mikey. We shall keep moving, though. Who have we got coming on next?
Move.
Oh, it's Mr. Daigle. Let's bring him on.
Not wearing the lucky shirt today, Brian.
Brian Daigle, you better not be washing that shirt. He's got it right there.
I've got it right here. This is the thing, but I've got a dilemma. I went out with Cody and Bobby for dinner, and I've got a chicken wing stain on there. And I'm
Doesn't
like,
matter.
shit.
Don't wash it, mate. Don't wash it.
There you go. There you go. It's not
Lucky
getting
for
washed.
Spurs and unlucky for everything else. Is that what you're saying?
Mate, I'm not joking. It's getting hung up in my wardrobe, and everything gets moved to one side, and it's got its breathing space. Everything. It's being worn every single game. But I just want to say, it's a great day today. It's a day of days. I am booking my ticket to get home today, and Mick. No, you should drink alone. It's alcohol free, but l'chaim.
L'chaim.
Brian, obviously we've spoken a lot about the atmosphere in the Spurs Stadium yesterday, which was absolutely amazing. You were obviously at the Scotland Yard yesterday in Toronto, the big Spurs pub. Talk us through what was happening in there and the atmosphere in there.
Oh, mate, do you know what? This pub is obviously it's becoming quite a famous pub within our community because obviously me, Bobby Kay, Brian Island, and all of us go down there. The place was rocking. I mean, as Simeon was saying, I said you've got so many videos. See, they're just the ones Bobby Kay took. Brian Island's taken a load that he's putting together in a vlog with the ones Danny Kyriakou took. It was pumped. As I tweeted, we had the wipe your feet on the Arsenal shirt when you come in to make sure you don't bring any dirt in. The place was absolutely rocking. The videos you're going to see were just immense. But I have to say, forget all the animosity that goes between fans right now. All I got to say to you guys is, honestly, the 12th man yesterday, you could see it on the street. You could hear it in the ground. It was outstanding, and that's what that ground should be like week in, week out.
Exactly, and it felt like a real kind of birth of the stadium last night. I know we've been there for a few years now, but it really felt like yesterday. For the first time, it felt like proper home. That's what it felt like.
Well, honestly, if you look at it, we've been there a few years. Yes, we've had Champions League, whatever, but this is the game that everyone has been waiting for. This game, the last one obviously being when we beat them to finish second and ended St Tottenham's Day. This was the game, and then all the spice that went in it with the what happened in January. This was a powder keg ready to explode, and boy did it. Did it. It was just outstanding to see.
Do you think this is one of the first times that in the new stadium, we've had like the crowd take us through a victory like that? Because I feel like we really did make a difference yesterday, like in terms of being that 12th man. I think the hostility of the crowd really frazzled Arsenal.
So, Joe, what I was thinking about that, I was speaking about it yesterday in the pub. If you look at the games that I went to with you guys when I was back, we went to the Chelsea 3-0 when Greavesy had died. Yeah. That was pathetic. We went to the Aston Villa 2-1 where I was in the toilet for Højbjerg's goal. Atmosphere weren't great there. Went to the United game, and obviously the atmosphere was different because of what happened in that game. Then when I came back because of Bob, I went to the Crystal Palace game with you, Simeon, and then the Chelsea in the Carabao Cup and the Wolves game. So those games, atmosphere-wise, weren't the best, and we could have been a lot better. But that game, what we just saw today, was what it's needed to be like. It was, do you know what? And I know you guys will be doing your player rating, but to me, every single player was a 10 yesterday. It was outstanding. And I am going to give a special mention to someone. And I really hope that a certain person is watching this. It's very early. He's 3 hours behind me. So I don't know if he's watching. I don't know if he watches it later. But Ben Davies was absolutely outstanding yesterday. Outstanding.
He's just in the comments now. So, yeah, he's definitely watching.
Okay, there you go. I have to say it. He was, and I've said it here on many a time, if we're big enough to criticise people, then we have to be big enough to say this guy deserves praise. And Ben Davies in the last two games, especially with Romero out, was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Brian, Arteta's done a lot of crying since the game finished, and he's been complaining and whining. And what's your opinion on the decisions yesterday that the referee made?
So I put a tweet out this morning, that bloody interview where he goes, if I don't I don't want to speak, 'cause if I do, I get suspended. I don't want to lie. I'm not a good liar. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You told a bit of a fucking whopper in January to get the game cancelled. So you kind of forgot that, didn't you? You had selective amnesia on that day. What a load of nonsense. What a load of nonsense. Listen, the Filth got what they deserved, and there's never a better day than the day after we beat the Filth.
But you know, that game is all said and done now. How are you feeling for top 4 now?
I honestly, so first of all, Sidney, I put a comment in, and I don't think you saw it when you said, yeah, we got to get up early to go to the Burnley game. Try having to wake up at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, not
That's
that
what
early.
I've got. That's what I've got to do, mate. But yeah, no, listen, I said before this fixture and before what's gone on that Newcastle is not a good place for the Filth. It really isn't. And you look at Newcastle as well. Arsenal, the players, just the pressure got to them, especially with the fans. St James's Park, as you guys will know, is it's my favourite away day. I love going to Newcastle. I love the city. I love the stadium. I love the people. And all the time over recent years, their last home game of the season or whatever, it's nothing to look forward to. They're just beating relegation or whatever. And it's like, oh, what shit are we going to go through in the summer? Well, it's completely 180 now. There's going to be a celebration there. They're not going to be thinking, oh, shit, who are we going to get? They're going to be like, who the hell are we going to get? And it's a Monday night game where that stadium is going to be rocking. And if memory serves me right, last time the Phil played on a Monday, Crystal Palace walloped them.
Correct.
So let's just hope it all repeats. And I honestly think they're losing. You look at it. What's his name? The Brazilian defender who went off yesterday. Gabriel, thank you.
Yeah.
He went off. Holding, suspended. Ben White, not fit. Their back line is completely in a mess, and it's their worst part of their game anyway. So yeah, I think literally we're going to get 3 points. They're going to get none, and then it's all down to Norwich and obviously Everton.
Wow. All right. So how are you feeling? Obviously, you said we're going to get 3 points against Burnley, but how do you see the game going?
5-1.
5-1.
Mate, it's me, it's KPV said. Literally, those games away, we seem to struggle. At home, it's a different animal. We just seem to have their number, and it's always a high-scoring game. I remember going to one where Robbie Keane scored 4 in a 5-0 win.
That's right, yeah.
It just seems to be a game, and it's the last game of the season. And you know what? One thing I have to say about the team yesterday is we get labelled, Tottenham bottled it, it's Spursy, it's this, it's that. When it really, really mattered, when they knew how much pressure was on the game for league points, the positioning, and also obviously St Tottenham's Day maybe being a possibility, and obviously the animosity in this game, then you add in the January, they sure as hell did not bottle it. They sure as hell didn't Spurs you. That was a phenomenal performance. And Conte, you are an absolute legend, my man. I love that man. Love him.
And he's been talking positively, saying he's 100% committed. He always gives everything to his job. Does it sound more and more like he's happier here now for you?
It does. You know what? Like we said, and I'm not even going to do my when I leave because today isn't about him. I will say something with the fingers, but it's not going to be that. He is saying what he needs to say. He's trying to give assurances without saying it because he still doesn't know what's going on. We all don't know. But he's now come out, like he said, he came out and said that the PSG rumours were nonsense. He's now, do you know what? He's laying a gauntlet down for Daniel, isn't he? He's laying the gauntlet down, saying, listen, I'm ready, I'm committed, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm going to do this. Are you? So now it's over to him to see if he does or he doesn't. But everything we need to hear from Conte is being heard. Everything we needed from the lads yesterday, we got. And once again, the 12th men, all of you lot, all 60 or whatever thousand it was of you, bravo, bravo. You are absolutely outstanding. I'm not even to say from minute one because you're all there hours before and all there hours after. So fair play to all you guys and enjoy the hangover. Enjoy the hangovers.
I'm definitely suffering and enjoying it all at the same time today.
Yeah, I have to say to you, Ben, when we were talking to you, when you were saying earlier, I couldn't hear a word you were saying. You couldn't hear a word I was saying. It was a great game of charades where no one had a clue what was going on. But it was wonderful to share the moment with all of you.
100%. I mean, you must have heard me at some point because I said, who have you got at the back? Who have you got at the back to Cody back? And he turned around and he saw the Emerson Royale shirt, which I loved.
Yeah, mate, I've got to say, you went through the Twitter things. If you need to laugh, just go look at Cody Mack's Twitter. I don't know if you've seen the one, but he's driving down to Toronto, and he's just driving, and he goes, "Okay, let's all psych ourselves up. It's North London Derby Day. Everyone psych ourselves up." He puts the most serious face on. He pushes play on his stereo, and it's "I Can't Smile Without You."
Love it.
It's absolutely fucking brilliant. That man's Twitter game is levels beyond anyone.
He's the king of Twitter. He's the king of Twitter.
Mate. And do you know what? Meeting that guy in person, me and Brian Hard and Bobby Kay are the lucky ones because he honestly is one of the greatest guys you ever meet.
It seems so.
I look forward to meeting him in person one day.
I cannot wait. Any plans to come to London? Bring him to London with you.
Mate, I wish, mate. I think it's about time you guys come to Canada. This will be the third time in a year I'm coming over to see you guys. Come on. Look at all the marketing and advertising I do for you.
We'll make it happen, Brian. Don't worry. We'll make
I know it will happen. I know it will happen. I just can't wait. Booking the ticket today and can't wait to see everyone.
Awesome. Brian, always a pleasure, my friend, especially on days like this. Especially on days like this.
As I said, I'm not going to say those two words, but what I will say is back Conte.
100%. Big up, Brian, as always. Let's keep going. One super chat here from Wolfsfire. Member for 6 months and says Spurs marching continues. Absolutely. And let's move on to our next guest, and that is Barry, driving in his car, looking very cool.
He is driving in his car. Boom, 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 boom.
North London.
How you doing, Barry?
Boys, I am absolutely buzzing. North London is ours. North London is ours. Off back to Woolwich. North London is ours.
I feel like he's just driving around North London like he owns the place.
Have you got a Spurs flag hanging out your car today?
Yeah, mate. Out the back, out the windows, beeping the horn, causing mayhem, mate. Causing mayhem.
We own North London. He's gonna like chuck rubbish out of his car to go like pick that up, mate. We own North London.
Barry, I was driving into Potter's Bar to the studio today, and I see a guy walking down the street in a Spurs shirt, just minding his own business. I gave him 4 honks on the beeper, and he just turns around, and I'm like this, and he's like, yeah. It's just like the sense of how everyone is feeling today, but. Obviously, we were together yesterday. How was it in your area of the stadium yesterday?
I was doing my bit for society and care in the community yesterday, but obviously it got us out of the number 8 quite quickly, so it did have its benefits.
Yeah. It did.
But yeah, look, it was absolutely insane. The atmosphere, like everyone said, it was like the rebirth of the stadium yesterday, and we need to carry it on. It needs to be like this. I've never seen, and talking now, I've got goosebumps about it because I've never been to a game where there was that out, the high road, the flares, everything. It was like being in like Galatasaray or something like that for a game,
Yeah. Atmosphere was absolutely electric, wasn't it? And how much of a difference do you think that made to the way Arsenal crumbled after the first goal? Do you think it genuinely made a big difference?
Look, they didn't know what they were coming into. They were coming into the Lions' den. It was, those young players. I think even, if you say to our team what that would have pumped them up massively, but to walk out to that would have. It would have done the business, and not normally when we're there, it's the first 10-15 minutes, if things aren't going our way, it kind of gets a bit quiet. But all 4 stands yesterday were just on it. It was the loudest. I think Graham was saying last night the loudest it was at some point was 145 decibels or whatever that means. I'm not a sound engineer, so
it means it's the same as like a rock concert, very similar level to like a rock concert.
Okay, so yeah, every day's a school day, so I've learned something today. But yeah, it was look, before the game, during the game, after the game, yeah, I'm absolutely ruined. Like you, like probably everyone else is today. And I don't know. I think it's going to be an early night tonight. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, tell me
Sure,
about
Barry.
it. Tell me about
Barry,
it.
what's your opinion on the referee, having slept on it and seen them again, and having seen the tears Arteta had to weep after the game? What's your opinion on the decisions that were made in the derby? Did we get lucky, or does Arteta have nothing to cry about?
No, look, Arteta tie on Arsenal Fan TV. What an embarrassment that was. I went and watched that this morning. So if you haven't gone and seen it, he was crying about, all Spurs fans were coming behind us and they were swearing and they were getting loud, so we had to move where we were filming. And the refs are all against us. And mate, listen, it's brilliant, right? Because what Arteta's done is he's got it into the fans' eyes that everyone's against them, and the fans are believing it. And now I think the players are believing it. So they're not going to go into tackles in the next few games because they're going to be worried that decisions are going to go against them. And look, it's absolute nonsense, right? If anything, Tierney, for the first 15, 20 minutes, everything was going against us. And we were, I was sat there and people were saying this, that, and the other. And I was sending messages back going, Tierney's this and Tierney's that. And unbelievable, there was that tackle on Odegaard. And then I can't remember, I think it was Cesc or Højbjerg won the ball, and then he went down holding his head, so the game stopped. It was just ridiculous. I don't know what he's moaning about. He's just bitter. He went to come and try and be, look at me, I'm better than Conte. And between Conte, the players, the fans, we just, we destroyed them. And it was empty after 70 minutes, the away end. So, look, he's got nothing to moan about. If anything, like Conte said, we're going to Burnley at 12 o'clock on Sunday. They're playing on Monday at 8 o'clock. So, if anything, we should be the ones sitting there and saying, that we feel aggrieved. But no, the penalty, Stonewall penalty, as soon as it happened, I thought it was a Stonewall penalty. Like a few of the others have said, Arsenal got one the other week that went to VAR that I thought was softer than that. The red card, like I watched your vlog this morning, and I thought it should have been a straight red, to be fair, but obviously it was a second yellow. They've got nothing to moan about, and the arrogance of Arteta, where he didn't really do anything. They obviously lost Holding, but he didn't really do anything. He didn't change it. He didn't. All right, he moved Tomiyasu, kind of back and everything else, but actually, it was his arrogance that kind of shone through yesterday, and that's the arrogance that I think he's got from Pep from before. There's that arrogance where they think that they're better than they are, they don't need to change things, and then they'll just blame the officials.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Yeah, go on.
But coming into the game now, Burnley, first of all, what's your opinions now on the top four race, and how do you think we're going to get on against Burnley? How confident are you?
Well, I've been saying for weeks, it's one game at a time. We saw where we are at Liverpool. It's 1 point. Look, I wouldn't even be surprised, right, if we drew at Burnley and Arsenal lost, and it was we went ahead of them on goal difference. That's how. There's still some twists and turns, but I think it is going to be this weekend that something happens, and I hopefully it's a Spurs win and Newcastle get something. But yeah, it's still on. It's still on. And until like I said, it's mathematically done. It's not done. And we're in the ascendancy now. We've got the momentum. We need to go and back it up. We don't want to, like Mikey said, we don't want to go and do what we did against City and then go and lose to Burnley. I don't think we will. I think me and Tarkowski are out. So that's a massive blow for them. And they are going to need to come and play because, again, they're still not safe. So it's good for all of us, really. We're in the way that Burnley needs to play. We're on form. Yes, okay, we've got a couple of days rest, but the players are going to be buzzing off this, and that's exactly what we need to do. So, like you said, we have got the better team, and we should go and do the business. And I think it'll be 4-0 on Sunday. And obviously, I'm in the studio, so last time it was 4-0. So. Let's
repeat performance. Come on, repeat performance.
And you call the 3-0 spot on before the derby as well.
Yeah,
prediction.
I did, but you did have to put that Brighton prediction in again, Sim. You know,
You're never going to forget to live that one down.
No. Well, look, yeah, okay. I got one out of two, 50%. So look, yeah, look, I think we've got the personnel to do it. We just need to go and back it up. And then, like we said a couple of weeks ago, Arsenal, it's over to you. And I'm sure that, like everyone said again, Holding's out. Gabriel's injured, so you don't know how much Saka's going to be as well. I mean, the one thing that I will say about yesterday is that Cess the last few weeks. I mean, I saw a tweet where the kit man needs to sew bigger pockets into his shorts because he's got Mo Salah and Bukayo Saka in there at the moment. So yeah, look, all of them yesterday on the pitch were fantastic. Like Brian said, the crowd were fantastic. And after Romero wasn't there, no Romero, no problem, boys. So let's see. Let's get to the weekend. Let's all recover. We need to recover. The players need to recover, and then let's just go and get those 3 points.
All right, big up, Barry. Look forward to seeing you on the watch along this Sunday, 12 o'clock. Obviously, Burnley. Last time Barry was on in the watch along, it was 4-0, like he said. Who was that against? Leeds,
Aston Villa.
Oh, Aston Villa. Aston Villa, yeah. So let's hope we don't have a repeat first half that we did against Aston Villa, because Burnley could put a couple away. But yeah, we just got to get the 3 points.
Same, similar coloured kits. So yeah,
Exactly.
let's and me and Rez are undefeated on watch along. So let's keep that.
Are you doing it with Rez? Are you?
No, I'm not. Well, I don't know who I'm doing it with. I was supposed to be doing it with Brains.
Yeah,
but
Brains
has got a ticket, so we'll have to see who's around.
Does he?
So.
Brain's got a ticket, does he?
Yeah.
Finding this out live on the show, I see.
Yeah. He woke up and answered his phone this time. So.
Okay.
But yeah,
I guess we'll have to find someone. Yeah.
Well, we'll find something inside so strong for Sunday.
Something
and
inside.
Get those 3 points.
Big up, Barry. We'll speak to you very soon, mate.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
See ya. A bit of news coming out from the Conte camp. Apparently, Conte's agent has been speaking, and this is what he's had to say. He's talking about Conte's future. He says he is obsessed with winning. This has made him one of the most successful around. He has the ability to change the mentality of a team, but it's obvious that in the Premier League, you don't win with just this. Sometimes Antonio appears to be a difficult coach to manage, but if I were the club owner, I would not want someone who makes me live well, but someone who makes me win. I feel him very satisfied with the team. They follow him. I think there is a good chance he could stay at Tottenham.
Very good.
So that's what Conte's
100% chance. That's what I want.
That's what Conte's agent has had to say on Conte's future.
All right, let's keep going. I can hear the stream playing from somewhere. Where is that? Do you know where that's coming from?
Yeah, it sounds like the speaker, but I don't know.
Oh, all right. Never mind. We've got, how many guests have we got left? 4 guests left still.
Jam-packed.
The lines are jam-packed. Let's go into our next guest, and that is Rez. Obviously, it was great hanging out, spending more time with Rez yesterday. Rez, how are you feeling this morning? Or this afternoon, should I say?
I think I sound a little bit like Barry White at the moment. Or English Barry White.
It was a great day yesterday.
My voice has had happened to it what we did to Arteta and Arsenal yesterday. I'm a little bit hoarse. So am I coming through, by the way? Because I'm using my new setup. I don't know if my microphone.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, mate.
Okay. Oh, good. So yeah, it was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. It was the best game I've ever seen live, ever. Superb and I saw it when, excuse me.
That's all right.
When when that first whistle blew and the crowd roared, and I was one of them, even in the West Stand. I saw the Arsenal players' shoulders just go clunk. You know, that was it. At that moment, I knew. I said, "We're having you," and we did.
Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere, a lot has been made about how much of a difference the Tottenham fans made yesterday. And it was, you could see the sense of occasion just coming in outside the ground, the flares, the high street was jam-packed yesterday, was singing and just creating an occasion. How for you, first of all, in terms of atmospheres at a football ground, where does it rank for you? And how much of a difference do you feel like it made to the result in the end?
Number one, bar none. For like 5 minutes after I stepped out of the stadium, my ears were ringing. It was that loud, and it made a massive difference, huge. I was saying all through last week that we would psychologically damage Arsenal if we as a crowd played our role and did it to the maximum degree. And that's exactly what we did. And that's exactly what happened. And it was exactly what we needed to do. And it made a huge difference because, as I said, they didn't know, they had no prior inkling as to what was going to happen. Because let's face it, which of their other rivals, I mean, there are no other rivals for Arsenal. We are their arch rivals. So they've never played against our crowd at our new stadium at full volume. They didn't know what to expect. They had no frame of reference as to what they were going to be up against. And so when they were confronted with it, that brittle, arrogant, full of themselves club, because that's what they are at the moment and have been for a long time, came face to face with real pressure and they buckled. And that's what was going to happen right from the off because we did our part.
What do you make out of the complaints from Mikel Arteta after the game?
As you guys know, I try to be polite when I come on your show. But fuck off. Right?
Absolutely.
He's got no complaints. He's got no complaints, okay? But I'll tell you one thing. It's very interesting. I got back last night and I felt a little peckish. So I fried some eggs and then I realized that I didn't have any salt in the cupboard. But luckily, I could see Arteta's post-match to help with that. And it was
Did it season your eggs really nicely? Yeah, Mikel Arteta's tears.
Absolutely. I think we need to bottle Arsenal salt and sell it. It'll be a real crowd pleaser.
I completely agree.
So, in terms of the referee's decisions, you think he got them both right?
I mean, within the letter of the law, yeah, absolutely. Was the penalty soft? It's certainly arguable that it was soft, but there have been penalties more stonewall than those that haven't been given. It happens, you know. But in a way, you see, this is the vicious side of me coming out. It always happens around Arsenal. I'm glad that it was a soft penalty because I wanted their piss boiled black after last night, and that's what happened. So yeah, this is all your fault, Sim. You've told me to be less rational, and I'm trying. I'm really trying.
But moving on to the game this weekend, how are you seeing it playing out, and how much confidence will we take from that game last night?
It revolves around mentality for both our players and our fans. It's the last game of the season, so I'm hoping that we will use that occasion to emulate what we did last night and again make White Hart Lane a cauldron. It has to be. Look, we follow football because it's tribal. When another club comes to our territory, it is another tribe invading our space. That's what sport is all about. It's about that competition. It's about that rivalry. Every opposition club is a rival when they are playing us. So our ground has to always be a hostile environment.
Agreed.
Not in a violent way, not in a sort of wanting to sort of physically hurt anyone, but it has to be a case of when an opposition club comes in, when opposition fans come in, they are uncomfortable there. They are on edge there. And we have to play our part in doing that. We have to shout and vent, resentment and dislike and hostility towards whoever comes against us. That's our mentality, which hasn't been missing per se, but it hasn't been ramped up to the levels that it could be, I think. Likewise, the players, they need to see Burnley as an obstacle that they need to destroy. This is all about the psychology of sport. Real competitors view whoever they're playing against as something to crush, destroy them. By all means, respect them, but they are something that is in your way that you have to get out of the way. And that's the mentality that we need to see from the players again, like we saw last night, and not think, oh, it's just Burnley. It's like, this is Burnley, we're going to kill them, metaphorically, and finish the job. Whatever else happens on Monday, whatever else happens after that, we have to win our next 2 games. I know that, as we discussed, Sim, mathematically, it is possible that if we draw against Burnley and Arsenal lose against Newcastle, we would still be in 4th and still in the box seat. But I don't want that mentality within our squad. They have to think win or nothing.
I completely agree with that. Yeah, so it's a very, very big few days coming up. Brains has just been in the comments saying, today Rez sounds like he's narrating a children's horror book.
Yes. I'm on the phone to the BBC at the moment for their new Jackanory version that goes out at 11 p.m. Once upon a time, there was a haunted house. Some children went in there and were never seen again.
Absolutely. I can listen to a book narrated by Rez all day, I tell you that. Absolutely.
Rez literally has a voice that you would just listen to all day. You've got a great voice. But what's your prediction then for Sunday?
4-0.
4-0. Wow.
Yes.
And then
Confident.
are you backing Newcastle to get any points from Arsenal?
I think that Newcastle will get at least a point on Monday. Because, look, the only team that has beaten Newcastle at home since Eddie Howe took over was Liverpool.
Yeah.
And they only did it 1-0. We're talking about an Arsenal side that don't have sort of a striker that can create, and Nketiah's sort of recent spate of a few goals here and there have basically come about through opportunistic periods. They don't create. Eddie Howe has got them really well organised. He's got some belief in that Newcastle squad where it was sorely lacking under Steve Bruce. And nobody wants to go to St James's Park, and no one will want to go to St James's Park at the last game of their season, regardless of what their summer's going to happen. St James's Park is that cauldron that we need to recreate. They are always behind their team and always shoving it in the faces of whoever actually steps onto the pitch at St James's Park. Do we honestly believe that Arsenal, with that brittleness, with that arrogance that has now been punctured, will have the minerals to stand up to that? I don't see it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, especially with the weakened backline now as well, with Gabriel potentially being out, Ben White not being fully fit, and Holding being suspended. So they've got a very big task on their hands this weekend. But I'm definitely taking that 4-0. I mean, everyone is very super confident, which is kind of expected after last night's result. But Rez, always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks for coming on.
I have one point, if I may.
Go.
And I know it's completely off topic, but it's something that I've wanted to speak about, and I've tried to. It relates to the statement that the Supporters Trust put out after the Liverpool game.
Okay.
So I have been a defender of the Supporters Trust in the past. I believe that a club like ours needs a Supporters Trust. However, I am repulsed by their actions over that statement. And I think that they have sorely overstepped the mark. It is not their job to police fan behavior. Their job is to represent the fans. And I would, as a member of the Supporters Trust, I would turn around and say that every member of the Supporters Trust should now consider standing for election against the current board because they are no longer fit for purpose. That's just the view that I wanted to put out there. We need a new Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust board, one that is focused on representing fans and dealing with the issues that exist around the relationship between the fans and the club's hierarchy, and not be spending time, although there is an argument for them being, important things to discuss. Stuff like, maybe the cost of living crisis is something to discuss. Maybe Newcastle's ownership is something to discuss, but that's not for the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust to discuss. They are there to represent fans. This board is no longer doing that. And I would call on all Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust members to consider standing for election against the current board when elections come around. And that's the only thing I wanted to say.
Well, Steve Fraser says vote Res, hashtag vote Res. You going to be standing?
Unfortunately, my work precludes me from being able to do something like that because of the risk of, because I'm a civil servant, being on the Supporters Trust board may have political interactions which would put my livelihood at risk. If I wasn't a civil servant, I would already have started a campaign. But yes, I would love to, but I can't because it would put my livelihood at risk. But there are lots and lots of people out there more intelligent than me, more passionate than me, who would do an even better job than any job that I might be able to do. And I would genuinely call on them to stand up and bring this organization back into a state that actually does what it's supposed to do.
Well, if the Spurs fans are chanting something like they did against Liverpool fans, which some trust members believe is not appropriate, how should they be going about getting that message across?
They shouldn't. They should only do it privately, because that's not what the Supporters Trust is for. It's, as I say, it's not a policing body. It's not there to steer fan behavior. They are supposed to respond and be a representative of what the fans do, or what the fans want, from their club, not there to give their opinion as to what is or isn't acceptable. The discussions around those chants can be had. I'm not saying they're invalid things to talk about, but it's not for the Supporters Trust to be involved in that as a motivator of the discussion. They can certainly have a voice in that discussion, but not as a primary mover of it, and certainly not as one that makes comments when not asked for them.
Interesting. Okay.
Fair enough,
Nice
Rez. Good points being made, and thanks for coming on, Rez, today. And always great talking to you, my friend.
Good to see you,
Thank you.
Rez. Always a pleasure,
Take
mate.
care.
See you
Yeah,
later,
good
Rez.
one.
All right, big stuff. Let's move on. We've got a few more guests and it's the man of the
come on.
moment, Aravind. Let's bring him on.
Big up,
Aravind. You were
Come on,
adamant in the
come on.
pre-match fan show. You called it absolutely spot on. And talk me through your feelings, man.
I told you guys this team is not gonna do shit in our ground. It's gonna be bullshit performance, absolutely horrible. And especially Arteta, that guy was so stressed. I don't know. I was just taking videos of him because the game was over in the 60th minute. He was crying. He was legit crying over there. He was just crying. He was, instead of doing substitutions, that shows how awful as a manager he is. Like, he's gone down to 10 men, and he can't find ways to come back in the game. And the only thing he can do is complain the referees, complain each and every one. It's stupid. It's just stupid from a manager. to complain stuff on how you perform. And good, give him another 10 years contract. I would love it. Play Nketiah forward, bring in more championship players. We would love it. Keep over there. You will see. You will see you. Hopefully, in another 3-4 years, they play in the Premier League. Hopefully, and not go back to the Championship. That's how the club has been directed, and that's that for sure. The man, if Arsenal is believing in Arteta as much as I feel they're overperforming. They're just overperforming, and it's just we as a team and other teams which are not performing really well has just made them come back to the stage, and it shows he's been here for 3 years in charge, and it's taken him so long to even get the system in whole and to get his team over there. It's awful, and good. We got the revenge, and especially the Arsenal fans were overhyping the squad. Gets a lesson.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely right. And what did you feel like listening to the game on TV, which I'm assuming you did? Tell me about the atmosphere.
It was amazing. It was amazing, especially from the start of the D4, which was shown. The each and every second, I could hear I don't know how well you guys hear the voice, but it was so loud. I've never seen that type of atmosphere in the games, and this was just amazing. And it just escalated the game, and I knew that when you have that type of support, it's impossible for us to lose, and especially Kane and Son, when it doesn't matter whether whatever game it is. I think so. If it's NLD, even in the sleep, they can score goals against Arsenal. That's how it looks. And yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch Arteta get stressed. I don't know, for some reason I hate him. I hate him a lot. I don't know, because he's been overhyped. He's been overhyped a lot, and it's good. It's good to watch him get a good lesson, and especially after getting the fluke wins against Chelsea, which I told you, if the only way they're scoring a goal is someone donates them the goal, and that's how they used to score. So then no one is donating them the goal, so how are they going to score? And let's see, Newcastle, no Gabriel, no Rob Holding, no Ben White. Looks like
Ben White will play, I reckon.
To go and defend.
Ben White will play.
Ben. I mean, he's not. We don't know whether he's fully fit enough for him to play next match. But if there's no other choice, he needs to play. But still, they don't have the proper defenders, and it's shown. And these guys only play one game a week, and they're struggling to get top 4. They only play one game a week, and they don't have Europe. We used to have Europe in the start, and a lot of games which we have played in the semi-finals. A lot of injuries. So one game a week, and they're struggling. And I'm guaranteed they're gonna lose against Newcastle. That's 100% for sure.
So you confident of Tottenham getting the top 4 now?
Yeah, Burnley at home is a minimum. We have this minimum bad line where we just go 4-0 or 5-0, and Norwich. If you come on, Norwich is not a competitive. It's not a competitive team. We are, even if we not play Kane and Son, we're gonna win that game. So for sure, that's the game which I'm not worried about. If you're gonna wrap up the win against Burnley, if you don't don't do anything surprisingly, but if you wrap up the game against Burnley, I'm confident that we can win against Norwich. So there's these 2 games, and as much as Romero is not fit, I'm not that much worried, because it's Burnley and Norwich. They don't play attacking football, and the defense won't be tested much. So I'm not that worried. I'm just only thing I would be worried is our wing backs should perform well against them, and if that is done, and our attack is doing well, we can get the 2 wins. It's not a hard game. Both the games are not the hard games.
And you, in terms of Arsenal, you think there's a good chance that they don't win their
Arsenal is going to lose against Newcastle. I'm guaranteed telling you.
Guaranteed, eh?
They're going to lose, not even draw.
They're losing against Newcastle. Newcastle at home has been really good. They've been really good, and they don't have the first. Okay, they struggle to score to keep a clean sheet against many teams with their first team defenders, and they don't have them down. And who are they going to play? Cedric is not a who's going to partner Ben White? That's my question. They don't have anyone.
Tommy
They
Asu
don't have
probably.
Yeah, but okay, then who's going to play the wing back positions? They need to play Nuno Tavares, who's not great in the wing, and
Yeah.
Alan San Maximan will just toast them up in the wing position. So that if you're pushing someone inside, then they're going to bring in another weak player in the wide, and that shows that they're very vulnerable to score goals, and especially Newcastle at home is currently under Eddie Howe is playing really well, and and especially it's the last game of the season at home.
Yeah.
It's going to be electric, and if we can get the win against Burnley, that puts pressure on Arsenal to win that game. They need to win that game. They won't think of a draw. They need to win that game because if they draw that game because of a goal difference, they're going to be very further behind. So Arsenal with the inexperience and with if they're given pressure, we saw that yesterday. The first goal, game over. I told you if we score the first goal, game over because this team is inexperienced. They don't have the compatibility to come back in the game. They don't have their experience. They don't have anyone who can direct them. Even the manager does not know how to direct their players to not get red cards or do it properly. Even the manager is inexperienced. And good Conte. That was a good quote from Conte, which he said in the post match is that if you listen to me, it's okay, or else I don't care, or something. That is giving emotional damage to the manager. So that shows this manager is also clueless over there. So if the first goal, if they score again, Newcastle scores the first goal, it's wrapped up, and it's a win for them. It's the win for them.
All right,
And
Aravind, go on.
yeah.
What were you
No,
going to
I just
say?
want to say, and I just want to say it to all the Arsenal fans over there, saying that top four is still in our hands. I know you guys are rattled that you got trashed against us. No worries, no worries. You're gonna play in the Europa League next season. We'll see you. I'll come back in the show after Burnley, and especially after Tuesday when you lose against Newcastle. We'll be talking about the Champions League.
Big up, Aravind. Love your
on,
calls,
Aravind.
mate. Love your calls. Thanks for coming on. And we'll see you after the Burnley game, mate.
Well, come on, you Spurs.
Come on. Aravind is absolutely
It's
brilliant.
always top
I love
class.
that guy so much. Let's move on to our next guest, and that is Lewis. You right, Lewis?
Hello.
Long
You
time
alright?
no see. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You enjoyed last night?
Yeah.
Did you watch it on TV, or were you lucky enough to be at the game?
Unfortunately,
Oh,
I didn't go. It's good that we won it, and yeah, I watched it on TV.
Your connection seems to be breaking up a little bit.
oh no, it seems to be all right
It seems to have caught up now. Did you say you watched it at home?
Yeah.
What did you make out of the atmosphere from watching it at home? How good was it, like, from the TV?
It was amazing. It's just brilliant, but it's very loud as well.
You had to turn
I
the
can
TV
imagine
down.
Nah, I would turn it up. I can imagine being there though.
Yeah, it was absolutely rocking. And now we won that game yesterday, 3-0.
Yeah.
How do you fancy our chances for the Champions League top four?
I mean, we're only a point behind them. If we do, then that's good. Antonio never gives up. That's what we know. He never gives up. So he'll try it, and then hopefully we will win, because that's what I'm hoping for. We get a win against Burnley with the 3 points. And then we'll be, hopefully, they draw against Newcastle, and then we'll be 2 points in front of them. Yeah.
Exactly,
Happy
that's
days.
his happy day. Do you think the referee got the decisions right yesterday?
Yes.
So
Very
what's Arteta crying about then?
I have no idea. He's just being a baby because he wants his own way sometimes.
He likes to moan, doesn't he?
Yep.
Exactly. And they shucked the game in January, and we got our revenge yesterday, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Absolutely spot on. All right, Lewis.
What's your score prediction for Sunday?
Hopefully about 6-5-0.
6-0. I absolutely love that confidence. Absolutely love it. And if we do win 5 or 6-0 on Sunday, how scared do you reckon Arsenal will be, or how worried do you reckon Arsenal will be going into that Newcastle game?
Well, they'll just give up then, won't they? Right, yeah. All right, then. Tottenham are the better side. Let's just leave it there.
Happy days,
Let's hope
Lewis.
so.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. You have anything else to say?
No.
All right.
Not
Big up,
really,
Lewis. Thanks for coming on, my friend, and we'll see
do.
you
Cheers
next
for calling,
time.
Lewis.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
See you in a bit.
Big up, Lewis. Thanks for coming on, mate. And we've got, oh, look who it is. Here's Bobby K. Here's Bobby K. Here's Bobby K.
Good
Here's
morning.
Bobby K. Here's Bobby K. You even got a rendition of that at the pub last night.
Oh, buddy, we got a few variations of it. I got to hear you guys trying to sing it to me with all the noise in the background there, so that was awesome. But so that. Hold on 1 second here. Sorry, let me flip this around proper. There we go. And what's the remix? It's Ben and Sim. It's Ben and Sim. It's Ben and Sim. It's Ben and Sim. We are Tottenham TV.
Come on, big up to you guys.
Love it, love it, love it.
How you doing, fellas? How you doing? I loved watching your videos there yesterday. Sorry, come to this side here. The sun's behind us. Come to this side. Come behind me. Yeah, I was watching the videos there, your game vlogs and everything. Even you guys walking down with Danny there and everything. That was just fantastic, man. That was wicked. That was crazy. Scenes there, the high street scenes, and okay, you waving here? Hold it.
Oh, there we go.
That's better. There we go. But I do have a little bit of. I am in a little bit of distraught here because I do feel bad for a certain somebody. So I just want to say, dear Michael Arteta, I hope you're okay. I hope you feel better. And don't worry. Just keep holding on.
Absolutely brilliant. Amazing.
What did you make out of Mikel Arteta's post-match interviews and statements or comments about about the refs and his decisions?
Dry your eyes, mate.
Professional manager. My man, take a step down. I don't know who's put him on this pedestal or if he's done it himself, but holy crap. Like, settle down, buddy. You are not even for him to even think that he's in the bracket of even Conte or even Poch or even Mourinho. Buddy, you're still barely at Nuno level. So settle down.
Barely,
you know?
exactly.
That's what I'm saying. You're barely even at Nuno level because Nuno accomplished more with Wolves than you have so far in your career. So, as in the words of the great Mr. Rez, fuck off.
Absolutely
exactly.
love it.
If you want to bitch and moan, my favorite part is I've got a cousin who's a massive Arsenal fan, and he just kept messaging me during the game, oh, the refs are on your side. Well, I said, you would have had a different ref in January. And for some reason, I never got any responses after that. So if you're out there, you know who you are. I still love you. And London is blue. It's white. Sorry, my mistake. But I know he's feeling blue. That's what I meant to say. That's what it is. Him and Arteta are sitting together having a salt sandwich right now.
Hi, Bobby, how are you feeling for the top four now?
I'm still confident, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's in their hands, as sadly it is to say, because we need them to basically drop points. We can win our last two games, and that's great, but it won't mean nothing unless they drop points. We will still end up finishing in fifth. So we have to hope that Trippier and Dele Alli just do us favors. You know, remember that they wore this kit and played for this badge, and we used to love them and we still do love them. And hopefully they'll do us a favor and help our boys out and say bye-bye. I'm not going to call them the filth because I know people get offended with that. So bye-bye, scumbags. Yeah, I think we could do it. You know, Burnley at home is a lot more favorable than us going to Burnley, obviously. We know what happened the last time we went there. And the Romero injury is massive. That's the one thing that scared the heck out of me yesterday. I'm not going to lie. I was terrified when I got that news, when we got that news. And we were concerned. We were walking towards the pub to meet up with Brian, the two Brians, and even got to meet Cody, and even Andre from Spurs Related was there. So it was a really good turnout. It was great scenes. The pub. You guys are going to watch the videos later on that I took Brian sent over to you. So
Can't wait.
It was magic in there, man. It was just great. And the videos I saw of you guys in the stadium and everything, the flares, the high street, what it's called, the high street outside. Is that what you guys call it?
Yeah, the high road. Yeah.
The high road, sorry. You know, even Iggy and Stell's video from that with the flares, the singing and everything, and wow, just I cannot wait for us to get over there one day and just experience anything similar to that atmosphere. So, son, your cup is actually a football. So what we want to do is tell Michael Arteta to stop learning how to cry and whine and learn about this. It's called a football. If you team how to play and not play rugby and try to just kick people in the back, then maybe you'll have better results. Just saying. I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert.
I think you have a point.
Obviously,
Victory. I should hold
obviously, Bobby. Obviously, Bobby. After we played Man City, after we had that brilliant win earlier on the season at the Etihad, we followed it up with a loss up at Turf Moor against Burnley. Are you worried at all coming into this game?
No.
Tell me why.
I don't talk about stuff like that. You know that, boys. I try to stay positive with it. What am I doing wrong here? There we go. I try to stay positive with it. I think the biggest difference is that they're coming to our house, and Conte has. You could see with Conte's positivity and the fact that his messages are not as cryptic anymore. There seem to be a little bit more positive in terms of him staying with the club and him looking to push us forward. I think the players are going to respond to that and know that, okay, we're not on that fence where he might leave, he might not leave. It looks like he's committed. So if we show we're committed, then that's the only way for the boss to commit, basically. So I think that we're going to get it done. You know, if you guys can even bring 50% of that atmosphere the fans brought to yesterday's game, I think we're in really good standing. I just know that there's a lot of talk about how poor the atmosphere was for the Brighton game, and that it was like a library and everything. So, guys, last game, home game of the season. There's absolutely no reason for it not to be absolutely chaotic over there. I want Burnley, the team, the players, the fans coming there to be scared the way the Arsenal fans were when they came in. And, you know, they came into the stadium and they shit their pants. You know, those kids pretty much came out and, you know, they all needed diaper changes by the 15th minute. I didn't swear. I said shit. I can't say that either? God, you're worse than your mom. Mad. Like he's acting like I said, you know, fuck or something. I mean,
we might have to start. We might have to start a swear jar or something. You have to put a pound in or a dollar in every time.
It's overfilled. That's what makeup money. Yeah, and it's loaded. But no, I'm only confident because I think everything's kind of in our favor right now. With this result, the players, there's no reason for them not to be absolutely pumped. I love the fact that how I was terrified the first 10, 15 minutes, especially the way we kept passing it around in the back and everything. Sanchez playing the ball back there, Lloris getting it. You know, me Daigle, Abdul was there as well. We're all looking at each other just, you know, oh my God, like, you know, biting our tongues and grinding our teeth kind of thing. And it was just one of those moments. But once we got that first goal, everything settled down a little bit. We started playing with a lot more flow and everything. It was a lot better. I think it was good that Sanchez got a lot of stick from the fans because of his, you know, poor passing and that thing out of my head and his poor play to start off the game, and he responded to that, and that was fantastic to see. I loved seeing him respond positively to that and react in a manner that showed that, look, this guy isn't as bad as we constantly say he is. Okay, we'll say bye then.
Bye.
See ya. See you later.
Yeah. Oh, good. It's easier to hold the camera now. So, yeah, I'm just really pumped up with everything that's going to come our way. I think we can easily get the result this Sunday. It's at home, last home game. You guys are going to be there. Are you both going again?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, I saw those videos yesterday. I think Ben clearly makes enough noise for about 20 people. And Sim, the fact that you don't scream as loud as him so we can actually hear everybody around, because I'm terrible when I make these videos. I start yelling like a fool in the back so you don't hear everybody else. So good job on the production value there, guys. But that was awesome. Like it's You know, even your grandpa. Oh my God, the smile on Grandpa's face
I know,
yesterday.
it was amazing, wasn't it?
It was great. He was beaming. He was,
Yeah.
you could see him glowing on the screen, right? And it was great. It was just a great feeling. Like I said, we're here over 3,000 miles away, and we felt your energy. It was just amazing. Like, we're at the pub yesterday. Of course, Brian's there rallying everybody, getting everybody singing songs and everything like that. Quite a few people there. We finally got to meet Cody, as you know, which was brilliant, because what an absolutely amazing human being. My children absolutely adored him. He's just such a nice, sweet guy, and you know, just a good person. And you know, that's all you want really around you. And then on top of that, a Spurs fan that was screaming away. So it was great. The atmosphere was fantastic for us. So like Brian said, you know, he's come over there. He's up 3-0 on you guys right now. So it's time for you guys to come make a visit. And we'll make sure we book the seats in the pub for you.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. But just before we let you go, what is your score prediction for Sunday?
I'm going to be humble, and I'm just going to be realistic with this one, because I know I like to go crazy and say 20-0 sometimes. But with this one, I'm going to be humble, and I'm just going to say 5-0.
Wow, is that it? All right, fine. I think we can just about take that one.
Yeah, I need Sonny's hat trick so that he gets the golden boot. It bothered me to see him upset, so I don't want to see that again. But I understand why it happened, and why it was almost a necessity that we did take them off, because we need them Sunday, all three of them. So I think, you know, Conte probably had a whisper in his ear and said, look, why kill yourself here when we've got this game put away? Save something for Burnley, and you have the opportunity to make one of your world-class runs like you did last time against him in that 5-0 win. So let's hope that Sonny can do that. But this time, instead of just one worldly goal, he'll get 3 of them. That's not too much of a request, is it? I don't think I'm being...
Not too much. Not too much. Well, Bobby, it's great to see your smiling face. Great to have you on the show once again. And we'll see you next time, my friend.
Always a pleasure, man. Have a great day, guys. And come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs! Love that from Bobby K. Is there anyone else waiting? No, that is it. All right. That is a mammoth morning stream for you, or afternoon stream for you guys. We'll be back very soon with player ratings and the 5 takeaways. And then obviously all the pre-match stuff for Burnley will be coming out tomorrow with the match preview and predicted lineup as well. So thank you everyone for watching us today. Couldn't wipe the smile off our faces all of the 3 hours. It's been brilliant. I've enjoyed every second of it. Thank you everyone for coming on. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.